What up? What up? What up? What up? What's up, man? It's your boy Big Tight coming back through here one more again early in the morning. Like I always say, snatching the covers off y'all ass this morning. Y'all know it's time to get up, get your butt up, and get on that bus. You know your mama ain't got no time to be taking your butt to school. Get your butt up and get your butt ready. You cannot miss that bus because she cannot take you to school. You know she got to get up and get to work this morning. So get your ass up because we're going to snatch the covers off y'all ass. Hey, appreciate y'all coming through, kicking it with me this morning, man. Hey, we're going to jump right into it. We're going to talk about the NFC East free agency, the winners and the losers in free agency. And also, we're going to talk about the question, should the Cowboys sign Micah Parsons to a historic deal? Because you see how much Myles Garrett got paid. You see how much, well, in other words, you see how much these edge rushers getting paid. You see how much Jamar Chase just got paid. So, you know, Micah Parsons is pretty much is the next one coming up, man. So these guys are getting paid historic type deals. The question is, should the Cowboys sign them or should they trade them? And maybe try to build up their team, man. So we're gonna talk a little bit about everything, man. As far as we also gonna talk about this, y'all. Have anybody made any moves in the NFC East? The try to take down the champs, which y'all know in the NFC East is the Philadelphia Eagles. I think the Commanders made some good moves, y'all. I like what they did in free agency as far as getting the left tackle, Larry Tunsil. I think that was a big move. To bolster up that offensive line. They already had a top 10 offensive line, but he just gonna make it that much better, man. His pass grade is like top 5 in the league. He only gave up, I think, maybe like 2 or 3 sacks. So I think that was a big move for the Commanders to get Larry Tunsil. I also think with the Commanders, man. What up with you, Candy Girl? Appreciate you coming through this morning. Early in the morning. You know how we do it. We're going to snatch the covers off their ass this morning, Candy Girl. It's time to get it up. Get up. Get down. Let's get it, man. But what I'm going to do, y'all, is I'm going to go through each division like I'm starting today with the NFC East, free agency winners and losers. Tomorrow, I'm going to do the NFC South, which, you know, y'all know my team is the Panthers, so I'm going to do the NFC South winners and losers, what they're doing in free agency, the people that they're brought to the team, you know, as far as what teams, who's got better, who got worse. So that's the thing I'm going to do. I'm going to be jumping around to different divisions, talking about what they're doing in the NFC. I mean, not the NFC, in the NFL free agency. So, like I said, today we hitting on the NFC East. Tomorrow, we're going to hit the NFC South. And we, like I said, we're going to jump around to each division, y'all. So we're going to jump right into it, man. Y'all give me 1 second. We're going to jump right into some of the moves that the teams in the NFC East is making right now. Y'all give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. And like I say, hey, y'all make sure y'all hit that like button. I most definitely appreciate that, Candy Girl. Y'all most definitely tap that screen for the lizards and lizards. And y'all subscribe to the channel if y'all like the content. Like I say, man, we do all football over here. We do the whole NFL. We do college basketball. So it don't matter what your team is. Come on over here and have a seat. What your grandma say? Come on in here and have you a seat. Come on in here. Let me fix you a sandwich. Come on in here. Let me fix you a sandwich and have a seat. But y'all give me 1 second, man. I want to share my screen with y'all, man, because I want to show y'all. Y'all know how I like to do. I like to show y'all, you know, what I'm talking about. So I'm going to show y'all. I'm going to share my screen with y'all. If you can't see it that good, it's all good because I'm going to read it. I'm going to read it off to you anyway. But we're going to read out some of the transactions that some of these teams in the NFC East have done so far. So we're going to start out with the Cowboys, man. And like I say, hey, the question is, should the Cowboys sign Micah Parsons, make him a rich man? Or should they trade him? Maybe try to get some draft picks and try to build up that team. Also, y'all, you know, the Dallas Cowboys, they most definitely need a receiver. with CD Lamb, man. Like I say, right now, anytime they go against a good team, basically all they do is double team CD Lamb, it's a wrap because nobody else really doing anything at the receiver position for their team, man. The tight end Ferguson, sometimes they'll try to get him in the passing game, but beside that, everything is pretty much keyed on CD Lamb. So they most definitely need to get a number 2 receiver, man. I don't think it's a bad deal if Amari Cooper go back to the Cowboys or Stephon Diggs. I don't think that's a bad deal, even though Stephon Diggs coming off an ACL injury, which is suspect. But the only thing I will say about that with Stephon Diggs coming back from the injury, he won't be coming to a team where he got to be the number 1 receiver. You know what I'm saying? Because CD Lamb going to be the number 1 receiver. Stephon Diggs will be the number 2. So depending on how he look when he come back from that injury, y'all, I think Stephon Diggs, I think he'll be good enough to be a number 2 receiver in that offense, man. Because most of the focus gonna go to CD Lamb regardless. So let's get it, man. The first we're gonna get into some of these signings that they did. They picked up running back Miles Sanders. They signed him to a 1-year deal. They also got running back Javonte Williams from the Denver Broncos. They signed him to a 1-year, $3 million deal. They signed wide receiver Paris Campbell, which for me, y'all, I still think they need to do something at the wide receiver position. I ain't really sold on Paris Campbell, man. They got him for a 1-year deal. They got a guard, Robert Jones. They signed him to a 1-year deal worth $4.75 million. They picked up edge rusher Dante Fowler Jr., a 1-year, $8 million deal. I mean, Dante Fowler, I'll put it like this. He's solid. He'll probably get you like 8, probably about 8 sacks, maybe 9 if you feel good. But he most definitely, he might be able to eat a little bit because most of the focus is gonna be on Micah Parsons. So he don't be surprised if his sack average go up a little bit this year, just because of the fact of how defenses focus on Micah Parsons. Also got an edge, Peyton Turner. They signed him to a 1-year, $3 million deal, which that's more for me like a prove it guy. I think that was a good signing what they did, re-signing the defensive tackle Osa. They gave him a 4-year deal worth $80 million contract, which includes $58 million guaranteed. So I think that was a good move by them keeping him because the Cowboys most definitely struggled on the run defense this year, y'all. So I think that was a big move with them bringing him back. They also signed defensive tackle Solomon Thomas. He agreed to a 2-year contract. With Solomon Thomas, I mean, he's solid. I mean, he not a game changer, but he's solid. They got him a starting linebacker that they got in the trade from the Titans, Kenneth Murray Jr. I think he's pretty solid. So what they did was they exchanged for a late round pick swap, and the Cowboys received number 239 overall, which is a 7th round pick, and the Titans received number 188, which is a 6th round pick. Also, they got Kyer Elam from the Buffalo Bills in the trade, which I think that's a solid pick at cornerback, y'all. That's a solid pick. You also got C.J. Goodwin. He re-signed a 1-year deal. Safety Marquise Bell. He re-signed with them also. Long snapper Trent, I guess his name is Sig. He re-signed. The punter Brian Anger, he re-signed. And they also re-signed their punt return / receiver Cavante Turpin. Y'all know that's the speedy guy. Most definitely is a threat in the punt return and kickoff return, y'all. So for me, man, I would like to see them with his speed. I would like to see them be a little more creative on offense with him, because you most definitely could do, try to get some mismatches with him in the passing game with his speed, man. So I would like to see them with the new offensive coordinator try to get him a little more involved in the passing game with all that speed he got, y'all. So those are the transactions that the Cowboys made so far in free agency, y'all. So now we're gonna go to the second team, which would be the New York Giants. So far with the New York Giants, they re-signed quarterback Tommy DeVito to a 1-year deal. They brought back wide receiver Darius Slayton. They got him a 3-year deal worth $36 million. which I think, that's solid for him because he's a decent receiver. So I feel like that's all right deal for him. They re-signed wide receiver Smith Merced. They got tight end Chris Madhurst, which he's pretty much blocking tight end. They signed offensive tackle Stone Forsythe. Offensive tackle James Hudson, they signed him to a 2-year deal worth $12 million, $16 million max value deal. Edge Chauncey Golston, he signed a 3-year deal worth $19.5 million. They also got defensive lineman Jeremiah Ledbetter. He signed a 1-year deal with them. Also, defensive lineman Roy Robinson Harris, he signed a 2-year deal worth $9 million. $10 million max deal. Linebacker Chris Board, they signed him to a 2-year deal worth $6 million. And of course, they got the cornerback from the Saints, Paulson Debo, which I thought was a pretty good pickup, man. I think Paulson Debo is a solid corner. They got him a 3-year deal, $54 million, $36 million guaranteed. Also, they got the top safety in free agency, which was Javon Holland. I think it was a good pickup for him to help. I think Paul Debo and Javon Holland will definitely going to sure up their secondary, man. They got Javon 45.3 deal, 30.2 million guaranteed. Paid Friday night. Also, they signed Demetrius Flanagan Foles. He agreed to a deal also. And they re-signed the punter and re-signed a long snapper. So that's what the Giants done did so far in free agency, y'all. So let's move to the next team in the NFC East. Like I said, if y'all just coming through here, man, we're going through some of the NFC East free agency signings. Some of the teams as far as who were winners, who are losers, and also did anybody put themselves in position to dethrone the champs, which are the Eagles. And I most definitely feel like the Commanders are headed in that direction. I still feel like they need to shore up their defense, y'all, because I'm going to show y'all in a little bit. We're going to go through the different teams in the NFC East as far as their offensive rankings and their defensive rankings. And the Commanders was at the bottom of the league. The Commanders and the Cowboys, both of them at the bottom of the league as far as stopping the run, man. So in that division, which you having to face the Eagles, which they are the champs, one thing you got to be able to do in that division, if you want to win that division, you want to dethrone the champs, first of all, you got to be able to stop the run. Because the Eagles got probably about the best offensive line in the league, and then they got the best running back in the league. So first of all, with a team anyway, you got to try to win your division. And if you want to win that division, you got to be able to stop the run. And that's one of the weaknesses for the Commanders, Giants, and the Cowboys last year. All of them were bottom of the league as far as stopping the run, man. So I feel like that's one thing that they need to attack in the draft. The Commanders on their defense, because like I said, I think they did a great job again. Debo teaming him up with Scary Terry. I think it's going to be a nice combination. I also like the fact that they got Larry Tunsil to help strengthen their offensive line, which they already had a top 10 offensive line. I'm going to definitely feel like in the draft, they need to get a running back. This is a deep draft for running backs. Well, they most definitely need to get a running back, y'all, because Jaden Daniels, like I said before, Jaden Daniels cannot lead your team in rushing. He led the team in rushing last year. So with his slim frame, you most definitely don't want him to be leading your team in rushing again. So like I said, this draft right here, this is a deep draft for running backs, so they most definitely need to try to get one of these running backs. Even if they get them 4th, 5th round, you still can get a solid running back in this draft. So most definitely feel like the Commanders need to tighten up on the run game, stopping the run, and also shoring up that running backfield as far as getting the running back to help take the pressure off of Jaden Daniels. But y'all give me one more second. I'm going to get back on my screen. We're going to go to the next team, which would be the Eagles. We're going to talk about what they did in free agency so far, what they done brought to the team, which y'all know they done lost some key players to their defense, man. But what they brought in, they got a backup quarterback in Dorian Thompson Robinson. They acquired him in a trade from the Browns for a 2025 fifth-round pick, which would be the number 164 pick, in exchange for quarterback Kenny Pickett. Also, you already know they gave Saquon Barkley a 2-year extension, which is worth $41.2 million, $36 million guaranteed, and he got $15 million more in incentives. So y'all know most likely that's probably if he get 1,000 yards, so many touchdowns, which he probably running behind that offensive line. Most likely he gonna get it if he don't get hurt. I also think he was a good addition, man. With them getting AJ Dillon, I think that was a great addition because AJ Dillon most definitely is more of a short yardage, like power back, but he got some speed to him too, man. So I think that was a big pickup with them getting AJ Dillon, especially you always want to have some type of answer, because Saquon Barkley, he was healthy last year, but y'all know, he been hurt. So just in case if he get hurt, I most definitely feel like AJ Dillon would be is going to be a great person to put in if Saquon Barkley get hurt. Also, they picked up tight end Harrison Bryant. I like Harrison Bryant from the Cleveland Browns. I think that's a great pickup. I like him. You also got tight end Kylan Granson. They got him on a 1-year deal. Excuse me, y'all. Lane Johnson, they agreed on a 1-year contract extension with him through 2027, which added another $8 million over the next 2 seasons, and an additional $30 million in guarantees, man. So shout out to Lane Johnson, but your boy just got that old extra bonus, extra little money, little chump change in his pocket. Little chump change in his pocket. All right, y'all. So they also got guard Kenyon Green in a trade from the Houston Texans, which they lost Micah Parsons. I know they couldn't keep him because they can't keep everybody, but Kenyon Green most definitely is a step down from what Micah Parsons did last year. Matter of fact, y'all, Kenyon Green, he's not that good to me. So we'll see how that turn out with him playing guard for them. With that offensive line being strong, he'll probably be all right because the offensive line, especially with you playing guard, it's easier to help you on the offensive line playing guard than it is playing tackle. So he might be all right, but I would most definitely say that's a step back from Micah Parsons, man. Also, they traded away C.J. Gardner. I think that's going to be a big loss for them also, man. C.J. Gardner most definitely make plays on the field as far as at the safety position. They picked up edge rusher, what's his name? Azizi Ajuri, Asasi Ajuri. I think that's how you. But anyway, he signed a 1-year deal, edge rusher from the Giants. For me, y'all, I don't think that's like a good replacement for Josh Sweat because if I'm not mistaken, Ajuri, he only done had I think 21 to 22 sacks in 3 years. So that's like an average of about 5 sacks, maybe a little over 5 sacks in the past, a season in the past 3 years average. So that most definitely ain't no upgrade. I think that's a step back from Josh Sweat. But like I say, the Eagles have been doing a great job in drafting y'all. So this is a deep draft for edge. So I'm pretty sure they're going to probably attack that position probably in the draft with this being a deep draft for edge, y'all. They also signed the linebacker Zach Bond. They re-signed him to a 3-year, $51 million deal, $34 million guaranteed, which he most definitely deserved. He balled out. They also got another edge in Josh Uch. I think that's how you pronounce his name. He got a 1-year deal. They signed Adoree Jackson, the cornerback, to a 1-year, $2.5 million deal. I feel like he more, a depth piece, really, y'all. They signed the long snapper, Charlie Hewlett, I guess that's how you pronounce his name, and kick returner, punt returner, Avery Wilson. Signed him to a 1-year deal. So that's pretty much what the Eagles done so far in free agency. And like I say, if y'all new to the channel, man, y'all most definitely subscribe to the channel. double tap that screen for the lights. And like I say, man, we're just going through some of these transactions that they done made so far in free agency in the NFC East, man. We also going to get into winners and losers, whether or not the Cowboys should sign Micah Parsons or trade him. So we're going to get into a little bit of everything, man. We also, give me 1 second now. We're going to go to the next team, which is the Commanders, which I like what the Commanders done did so far. Like I said, I still feel like they need to do a little bit more on defense. I think they need to get another edge rusher and try to bolster up that D-line to help stop that run if they want to try to compete with the Eagles, man. But I most definitely feel like they're going in the right direction. All right, so they re-signed backup quarterback Marcus Mariota. They re-signed he kind of like a third down back Jeremy Nichols to a 1-year deal. Wide receiver KJ Osborne, he more of a depth piece. They re-signed him. As y'all know, they got traded. They traded for Deebo Samuels for the 49ers for a 5th-round pick, which I think was a great move for them. Team him up with Terry McLaurin. I think that's going to be a great move. And they also brought back Zach Ertz. Zach Ertz, he's not as explosive as he used to be, but he most definitely still can get open. As y'all seen last year, he still got good hands. They also signed back the other tight end, John Bates. I think that was a good signing also. They also re-signed offensive tackle Trent Scott. And of course, they traded for Larry Tunsil, which I think that was a great move. They re-signed center Michael, I think his name Detter. They also re-signed one of the edge rushers, Cleveland Farrell, which I think was a good move also. They also signed Jacob Martin to a 1-year deal, $3 million. Dietrich Wise, they signed him to a 1-year deal worth $5 million. Eddie Golston, they signed him to a 1-year deal, defensive tackle. I think that's a good depth piece. Shelton Day got him on a 1-year deal. Jalen Holmes, he agreed as a free agent. I think this was a great pickup right here, y'all. Javon Kinlaw, 3-year, $45 million deal. I think that was a great pickup to help with that defensive line, man, especially with them losing D tackle Jonathan Allen, man. I think that was a good pickup to get Javon Kinlaw. They brought back Bobby Wagner. They re-signed cornerback Noah. I can't pronounce his last name, y'all, but they also signed cornerback Jonathan Jones to a 1-year deal. They got safety Will Harris, which I think that was a good pickup, 2-year, $8 million deal. They got kicker Zane Gonzalez. They re-signed him, and they re-signed their punter Trez Way. So that's all the signings right now so far with all the teams in the NFC East right now, y'all. So let me get that off my screen. And like I say, hey, we talk about it all today, man. We're going to talk about the winners and the losers. Y'all give me 1 second. I got a video clip I want to play for y'all as far as with the winners and losers in this division, man. Y'all give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. And shout out to this guy, man, Matty Dubs, man. He do a good job of like breaking down film and stuff like that, man. So, hey, shout out to him. Hey, y'all like stuff like that, man. Y'all most definitely go over there and check out his channel, man. But y'all give me 1 second. And right here, this is great in the NFC East on some of the moves that they made. So give me 1 second.
Now, let's start off with the Philadelphia Eagles. They added some really interesting pieces, but I think it's fair to say they had one of the most difficult positions to start this offseason, obviously needing to re-sign a bunch of really good players from this last season, but more importantly, having to save cap space to prepare to pay Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, Nakobe Dean, Nolan Smith. I mean, the young players go on and on and on, and those guys will need to be re-signed. So they ultimately lose Josh Sweat, who I think is amazing. You lose Milton Williams, Darius Slay, trade C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Other than that, didn't lose anything crazy. Maybe Isaiah Rodgers and Mekhi Becton were, guys who had a lot of potential. But some of the guys they added, I actually really liked a lot more than other people. Now, the first player that's interesting to me is Texans offensive lineman Kenyon Green. A ton of potential, an early round draft pick, a guy who I think could come in here and revitalize his career with this Philadelphia Eagles unit. However, it's all potential. He's been terrible, absolutely terrible in his career thus far. I do like the potential of Kenyon Green a lot more than others, though. Also really like the signing of A.J. Dillon. This is a guy that welcomes contact, and he's very hard to take down, especially in cold weather games. I think this dude could be a unit. Look at him just lower the shoulder here. Again, he is not going to be asked to be a starter over Saquon. He's going to be able to spell, come in on third and short situations. Again, another guy with a lot of potential. Early round draft pick. I think he could become something here in Philadelphia. And then there's Adoree Jackson, the former New York Giant, another player I like. Look at this one-on-one coverage. You have one high safety cheating to the middle of the field, right? We're just going to get one-on-one. Derek Carr is going to drop back, and he's going to throw this thing up. The one thing I like about Adoree Jackson, he's very instinctual, right? Sees his wide receivers going for the football, so immediately turns his head, looks back, avoid any penalties, and then boom, swat that thing down. Adoree Jackson is another guy, when you lose Darius Slay, when you lose Isaiah Rodgers, he could easily step in and be a day one starting cornerback, depending on how he competes in the offseason. You also have Keely Ringo, who I think could be their starter as well, so I think that adds much needed depth to their group. From there, we can talk about them re-signing Zach Bond, A-plus move, right? Adding A.J. Dillon, Kenyon Green, Adoree Jackson. I love those moves potential-wise. You bring in Josh Uche, who I think could be a really good pass rusher, maybe someone to take some snaps away from, obviously, Josh Sweat leaving to the Cardinals. You also have Jalix Hunt, who I like. So overall, I think they've done a good job adding cheap kind of replacements.
What up with your OG greeting, man? Appreciate you coming through, brother. Yes, sir, man. We just talking about the NFC East, man. Some of the moves that they done made in free agency, winners and losers. And if anybody can make any moves to try to dethrone the champs, man, the Eagles, man. So hey, appreciate you coming through, OG greeting, man. But here we go, man. I'm finished playing this for y'all. Give me 1 second.
But in the draft is where they're really going to hit on some picks. I can almost guarantee it. Of, picks for next season due to some of these guys leaving. I think they even got a third-round draft pick as well for next year. So that's insane. But overall, I'm going to give the Philadelphia Eagles a solid C+, just considering all of the things that they had to do. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Dallas Cowboys. And this one was interesting to say the least. You want to talk about adding potential? This is exactly what they did. And outside of that, they didn't do much else. Now, I'm a guy who loves potential. Getting former first-round picks who have screamed nothing but talent coming out of college, those guys can still really pan out. Or they might not. Now, immediately, they lost some really big-time depth pieces, obviously starting with DeMarcus Lawrence, Rico Dowdle, Chauncey Golston, who went to an in-division rival. Zach Martin did retire. Jordan Lewis as well. And, those are some big losses. But here's what they did to fix it. Now, first of all, I love the addition of Jack Sanborn. You're going to see him right here shoot the gap and blow up Sean Tucker. This is a guy that I think screams untapped potential and could be a massive fit here for the Dallas Cowboys in year one with them. And then there's Kenneth Murray, who, again, I think has a lot of untapped potential. Here's another gat shoot here. Gets the running back in the backfield for a loss. Now, do I think he's as much of a hit as Jack Sanborn? No, I think he's much more of a shot in the dark. Again, former first-round pick with a ton of potential. Will it hit? I have no idea. And if it does, great. They're getting a really good, talented, high IQ, and at times inconsistent, but man, athletic freak in Kenneth Murray. I really hope it pans out, but there's a chance it doesn't. And then you have Kyer Elam, another one of these guys who just has potential, but has not been good in his NFL career thus far. Here's a one-on-one. Left shoulder fade, jumps it, gets the interception. Cool, right? We need to see more plays like this. Kyer Elam got absolutely torched versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, I get it, Patrick Mahomes. But again, this is nothing close to a sure thing. Now, from here, I absolutely love the signing of Dante Fowler. This dude is an absolute unit, one of the best pass rushers in the game, and I think you get him at a really nice price. However, does not help out in the run game at all. The Dallas Cowboys are one of the worst run defenses in football last year. This move specifically doesn't help him there, but he will continue to dominate, continue to get to the quarterback, and him, Micah Parsons, should be an elite duo together. Outside of him, right, I like Peyton Turner, another former first-round pick, another guy with a lot of potential. Can they get it at him? I have no idea. Javonte Williams, Miles Sanders, interesting one-year deals. I feel like those are, a downgrade to Rico Dowdle. In my opinion, maybe you can, argue otherwise. But from there, Robert Jones is okay. Solomon Thomas is okay. Nothing really stands out besides untapped potential. Now, I like a couple of things that the Cowboys did. Added some interesting defensive potential with some of those guys. I don't know how I feel about the backfield additions. I think they'll draft one. But I'll tell you one thing. I'm going to give this a C+. Just because if some of that potential hits, if you say Kyer Elam and Peyton Turner hit, well, you just got insane athletes who are obviously going to be better here in Dallas. That would be amazing. That would turn this to a B+ type of offseason. I also say another thing, Jerry Jones needs to bring it during this NFL draft. He needs to go out there and dominate, get some real big potential, high floor type of players, and I'll love this offseason. Guys, real quickly, before we deep dive any further into this video, make sure you do me a big favor. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, join the family, turn on post notifications. If we get over 500 likes on this is a guy that can play in multiple different positions, whether you want to play him in the slot, the nickel, deep safety, outside corner, in run support, in the box. This is a guy that can play anywhere. Now, obviously, Giants losing Xavier McKinney to the Green Bay Packers last offseason, that hurt them a ton this year. Javon Holland is a guy that is going to make a lot of plays for a football team, and I thought this was one of the best signings of free agency. You also add a guy like Chauncey Golston, who right here we're going to attack the outside, and then Golston's going to come in and get to that right guard. Watch how he's able to dominate this guy right at the point of attack and then come up with the sack here on Bryce Young. This is a guy that I think has a ton of potential as not only a pass rusher, but someone who had 30 stops last season. The New York Giants last season finished the year ranking 24th in yards allowed per rush. Now, Goldston's not specifically a run stopper, but he adds a lot of versatility in terms of he can do both. Now, I would say the majority of his production is probably going to be getting to the quarterback, but that is important as well. The Giants ranked number 5 in the NFL last year in sack percentage, and that number might go up even more. Now, I absolutely love Paulson Adebo. Look at this play here. This dude is an athlete. This dude is a dog. This is a guy that I would want on my football team anywhere. I don't care what team you are, go get a Paulson Adebo. Now, yes, he's coming off an injury, but if he's able to get healthy, this is going to be such a great signing. Not only is he a guy that's not afraid to go make a tackle on anybody, but he's also really good in coverage as well. Got good size at 6'1", 192 pounds, only 25 years old. Man, I'll take Paulson Adebo every single.
What up with you, Dar? Appreciate you coming through, brother.
Single day of the week. I love this one. Now, I also feel like the Giants took a page out of the Eagles' book and just loaded up with depth along that defensive line. Roy Robertson Harris is another one that I absolutely love just because, again, you can never have too many pass rushers. You can never have too many guys that can stop the run, and Roy Robertson Harris is another one of those guys. Now, I'm actually going to give the Giants a B-. Now, I love the signings that they made. However, there's still a big hole. Who's going to the quarterback going to be? I'm going to deem this as an unfinished grade. If it's Aaron Rodgers, I'm honestly going to give them an A- for this year's free agency period, the offseason thus far. If it ends up being, anybody else, Russell Wilson, Kirk Cousins, might go down to like a B+ from there. If it's Shedeur Sanders, I get really nervous. Is he ready to play right away? I don't know. Let me know who you guys think the quarterback should be and who do you think it will be come week 1 of the NFL season. So, yeah, B- for now, but that has a lot of room to go up. From here, we got the Washington Commanders. Guys, you already know what I'm going to give this as a grade, but I will wait to tell you just a little bit longer. This team made some acquisitions, and I am all in on almost every single signing. Now, first of all, I know this was a trade, but Debo was a perfect fit. You talk about how this guy works off, at line of scrimmage passes. Amazing, right? This is a guy that can play make in open space, make guys miss, absolutely dynamic in the backfield, insane versatility of where you can line up, plays a lot bigger than he really is. I love this pickup here for the Commanders. Instantly makes them a better offense. And then you add one of the best left tackles in football with your rookie quarterback. Yeah, I'm all in. Look what he's doing to Trey Hendrickson versus the Bengals. I love this pickup, guys. You can't get better than this. If you're adding a first high tier, elite tier left tackle for your offense with your quarterback on a rookie contract, you are doing things right. They're doing it the perfect way. Love this one.
And look at it, y'all. All the highlights that he's showing, Larry Tunsil locking down top edge rusher. You seen Myles Garrett, who just got paid all the money, locked them down. Old boy from Houston locked them down. So he most definitely is a great addition for the Commanders, y'all. Give me 1 second.
You add a guy like Jonathan Jones, another one I like for this team. Yes, they did bring back Noah Igbinoghene. You still have Mike Sainristil and Marshawn Lattimore, but now the depth is insane. If you need a guy to come in and fill in for a game, Jonathan Jones has one great speed and great man cover ability. In this game versus the Bills, he held Khalil Shakir to one catch in 12 man coverage routes for about 12 yards. I love Jonathan Jones, former Auburn Tiger, New England Patriot corner with really good speed. Again, you talk about this pickup, not going to be forced to be a day one starter, will add immediate competition to the room. And then everybody's hating on Javon Kinlaw, and I don't understand why. The Eagles handed everybody a blueprint. Hey, this is how you win a Super Bowl. Have insane depth along the defensive line. Javon Kinlaw adds a really unique way of rushing the quarterback where he can line up in multiple different positions. He can line up in a 1-tech, a 2-tech, a 5 technique. This dude can line up everywhere. And now you add him alongside Dorrance Armstrong, Deron Payne, Cleveland Farrell's back, Dietrich Wise, Jerzon Newton, Eddie Goldman, Jacob Martin. You have 8 guys who can automatically play if you need them to. And then you have a guy like Will Harris, who might even be a day one starter at the safety position, depending on what they do in the draft. Look at the read, react, attack. I mean, this is beautiful, right? He doesn't make a tackle here, but look how quickly he recognizes, all right, we're going to get a fake handoff to the opposite side. Look at this. Beautiful job reading what the offense is doing. We're getting guys out to left. Teams just don't do this for no reason. He reads it perfectly. One of the only guys who overcommits and sets the edge, forces him up to his teammate who makes a tackle. Will Harris, beast. Overall, I couldn't be more excited for the Washington Commanders. They add Deebo Samuel. They add Laramie Tunsil, Jonathan Jones, Javon Kinlaw, Will Harris, Dietrich Wise, Eddie Goldman, right? They re-signed Bobby Wagner, Zach Ertz. You bring back Marcus Mariota, who meshed very well with Jaden Daniels. You add some wide receiver depth as well to the unit with the guy, for example, KJ Osborne. He was here last year, didn't play too much. I think he was just on the practice squad. I like bringing him back as well. From there, you let go of Jonathan Allen. You add Javon Kinlaw. I'm cool with that, right? Jeremy Chin, I hate seeing him go, but Will Harris isn't too much of a downgrade in terms of what he can do. De'Ami Brown and Dante Fowler are guys that I don't love them losing, especially because Fowler's going to the Cowboys. But overall, everything that you see here, I'm giving this an A+. The Washington Commanders killed it, and man, they're going to be one of my favorite teams to watch next year. Once again, I cannot wait.
All right, y'all. So that was a breakdown of pretty much like the grades for the NFC East teams, man. Which like I said, that guy, he do a great job. Matty Dubs, he do a great job of doing stuff like that, man. So shout out to him once again. But yeah, man, I most definitely feel like with the moves that with the Commanders done made so far, man, I like what they doing. I still don't feel like they did enough to dethrone the champs, but I most definitely feel like they will be able to compete with them. Um, Last year, one of their weaknesses was stopping the run. Man, they were horrible against stopping the run, and that's the thing in that division, because with every team, one of the main things you want to do is you got to win your division, man. What up with your trucker 49, man? Appreciate you coming through. Appreciate you coming through. Let me see what you say, John. You say Washington made a good move with that one. Yeah, they made some good moves, man. I like what they did with the move with getting Debo. I love the move they got with Larry Thompson, man, because they already had a top 10 offensive line. Larry Thompson do not give up sacks like they were showing on the highlights. He went against Myles Garrett. He went against top edge rushers, and they were locked down. Hey, they were in what we used to call concrete. They weren't going nowhere. Once he got hands on them, it was a wrap, y'all. They weren't going nowhere. But I love that move with that move. I like the move with Kinlaw, especially with them losing Jonathan Allen. I like that move also. I do feel like they need to get they need to get another corner to go with Marshawn Lattimore. I also feel like they need to get another edge rusher, y'all. They need to get another edge rusher. And like I say, I also, even though they got Javon Kinlaw, and they still got Duran, they still got Payne, I still feel like they need another run stopping defensive tackle, man, because they run stopping defense was horrible last year, man. Matter of fact, let me show y'all right quick. I'm gonna show y'all my screen. I want to show y'all the defensive rankings for the NFC East teams last year. And this is the reason why I say until they fix this problem, they are not gonna knock the Eagles out as far as trying to win that division, man. Because if you want to beat the Eagles, first of all, you got to be able to stop the run. Everybody know last year, even in the Super Bowl, the Eagles dominated up front in the line of scrimmage. The offensive line probably was the best in the league last year. Defensive line with the rotation they had, probably about the best in the league last year also. So if you want to try to dethrone the champs in your division, first of all, you got to be able to stop the run. And I showed y'all when I broke film down before, Saquon Barkley, once again, every time that I say 70% of the time when he runs the ball, the line and the wide receiver and not just the offensive line and the wide receiver, AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, all those guys are blocking. Saquon Barkley gets through the line of scrimmage and gets to the second and third level without even getting touched, y'all. That's why I say don't be surprised if Saquon Barkley now, like I said once again, don't be surprised if Saquon Barkley, if he don't get hurt, y'all, don't be surprised if he don't rush for 2,000 yards again because of that offensive line. Now, I will say, I think that was a big loss for them losing Mekhi Becton because he did a great job last year with them moving him to guard. Kenyon Green from the Houston Texans, to me, he average. He not all that good with the Houston Texans, and he coming over to the Eagles. But one thing I will say with the situation with Kenyon Green, he plays guard. So it's easier on the offensive line to help out the guard than it is to help out the tackle. So he'll probably come into that offensive line and he'll probably be all right. But don't be surprised if the Eagles don't attack don't get a guard, an interior offensive lineman in the draft, y'all. And with this draft being so deep with edge rushers and running backs and things like that, don't be surprised if they able to get a top tier guard in like the second, third round. They're still sitting around because everybody trying to get these edge rushers, everybody trying to get these running backs, everybody trying to get these D linemen, and that doggone guard gonna be sitting right there, gonna fall right to them. So and like I say, the Eagles they lost a lot of people with Josh Sweat, Malik Milton Williams. So they most definitely been doing a great job of drafting. We'll see if they can continue to do a great job of drafting. But like I say, man, let me share my screen with y'all because I want to show y'all exactly what I'm talking about. The reason why I say and that go for the Cowboys, that go for the Commanders, and that go for the Giants. All three of them. were at the bottom of the league last year as far as stopping the run. Until they're able to stop the run, you ain't finna beat the Eagles in your division because the Eagles gonna ground and pound. The Eagles showed you last year. They showed you last year that you can still win games with the old school football. And what I mean by old school football, I mean by dominating on the line of scrimmage, offensive, defensive line, and run the ball, play good defense. And then your quarterback, you just ask them to make your quarterback just make the plays you need to make in the passing game. And that's old school football right there because Jalen Hurts, even though in the Super Bowl, now in the Super Bowl, it came down to him having to make plays in the Super Bowl. Kansas City took away Saquon Barkley in the Super Bowl. So Jalen Hurts did a great job of making the throws and the correct reads and stuff in the Super Bowl to make plays. But think about it. How many times did Jalen Hurts have to do that last year, y'all? He didn't hardly have to do it because the majority of the teams they played, they were able to run the ball because of their offensive line. They were able to play good defense. And they put him in great situations where they didn't have to throw the ball like that, where he just, made certain throws in the game. That's why you seen AJ Brown going through the season, on the sideline pouting and stuff about, when he did the press conference and they said, "What you think y'all need to work on?" He said the pass. So that just goes to show you that they weren't throwing the ball like that. They were more reliant on playing good defense, running the ball, dominating the line of scrimmage. So, like I said, the Eagles, they just showed you that old school football still works in the NFL, even though everybody's doing all this passing. Old school football still works. Dominate the line of scrimmage, run the ball, play great defense. It travels, it travels, it travels. So, in this division, like I say, even though the Commanders, they don't did a good job in free agency, and it'll be interesting to see what they do in the draft. But any of these teams, man, if they want to dethrone the Eagles, they most definitely got to be able to stop the run and force Jalen Hurts to have to throw the ball to win the game. So give me a second. I want to show y'all right quick as far as the defensive rankings. Like I say, y'all new to the channel, y'all most definitely subscribe. Double tap that screen, get them Lizzie likes up, man. And yes, sir, appreciate that Candy Girl. Most definitely, y'all most definitely can do super chat. Most definitely you can get you a super sticker. And if you want to be a member to the channel, man, it is $2.99 a month. Matter of fact, let me put the link in the chat. If you want to be a member to the channel, y'all can hit that link. Go to the channel. You can be a member to the channel, man. It is $2.99 a month. And like I say, man, we're doing all football over here. We do the NFL and we do college football, man. I also started a basketball channel, which is called Tighten Up Sports. Y'all type in Tighten Up Sports. Y'all see my basketball channel come up. I just started it, so I only got a couple of videos over there right now, but we will be jumping into this college basketball March Madness tournament this weekend and next weekend coming up. And y'all already know we do the NBA college basketball over there. Y'all already know Luka Lake Show Luka, baby. Y'all already know. But y'all give me 1 second, man. Let me show y'all my screen. What I'm talking about as far as with their defensive rankings and how they're at the bottom as far as stopping the run. Give me 1 second. 1 second, y'all. Now, I'm going to read this off to y'all because I know, even though I'm pulling it up on the screen, I know y'all can't see it like that, so I'm going to read it off to y'all. But as y'all see, total defense, the Eagles are number one in total defense. They only allowed 278.4 yards during the season, and they allowed 33 touchdowns on the season. Now, let's go down here let's find their division rivals, Cowboys, the Commanders. Okay, here go the Commanders. Total defense, they're at number 13. They allow 326.9 yards a game. They allow 45 touchdowns on the season. Now let's go down. Let's find the Giants. Okay, here go the Giants at number 24. They allow 346.8 yards on the season. They allow 47 touchdowns total. Here go the Cowboys at rank number 28. They allow 355.2 yards total yards per game, and they allow 55 total touchdowns on the season. Now let's go down here to what I was telling y'all. We're gonna go down. I want to go down here to the run defense. What I was telling y'all. Yeah, we'll go down here to the running defense. This is the reason why I said until those three teams in the division, till they step that up, they are not going to be able to knock the Eagles off as far as trying to win that division. Now let's go all the way down. Now let's go down because we ain't seen nobody yet. Go all the way down. Now look, the Giants are the first team we see, which they are ranked number 27 against the run. They allow 136.2 rushing yards a game. They allow 18 rushing touchdowns on the season. Now here goes somebody else in their division. The Cowboys, they rank number 29 against the run. They allow 137.1 yards a game. They allow 25 rushing touchdowns on the season. Look at the Commanders at the bottom of the league. This is why I say the Commanders, they making moves, but they got to tighten up in the run game. You're not going to beat the Eagles if you can't stop the damn run, because Saquon Barkley gonna put about 250 yards up on you if you can't stop the run. And as you see, the Commanders are right here at rank number 29. They allowed 137.1 yards a game, and they allow 18 rushing touchdowns on the season. So that's what I wanted to show y'all right there. What up with your what's your name? QB Inc. You say why old logo for the Commanders? You know what? You are most definitely right. Hey, QB, I'm up here thinking I done did something. I ain't even peeped you know what? I appreciate that QB Inc., man. I ain't even peeped the game. Hold on, man. Let me change my background. Hey, appreciate that QB Inc., man. You know what? I done did the damn thing. I ain't even peeped game that's the old damn logo. My bad, y'all. Appreciate that QB Inc., man. Keeping your boy on the P's and Q's. Give me 1 second, because I had a couple of different backgrounds that I was trying to choose from, y'all. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna switch it up right quick. I had a couple of them I wanted to choose from, because I had this one right here that I was thinking about doing, y'all, and then I also had this background right here also. But I think I'm gonna go with this one right here. Yeah, I'm gonna go with that one. But give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. But yeah, appreciate that QB Inc. Keeping your boy on his P's and Q's. Let me see what you say, Trucker 49. You said that Missouri versus Michigan Big Ten game was fired last week. Oh, yeah. Hey, the college basketball going to be on and popping, baby. On and popping. Yes, sir. But like I say, man, y'all like the content. Y'all most definitely subscribe to the channel, man. Y'all double tap the screen for the Lizzites. and like I say, y'all, now, another thing I want to talk about, another thing I want to touch on as far as what the Cowboys are doing, because they most definitely going to have to sign Micah Parsons unless they trade him. You know, they got a couple of rumors out there. I don't know how serious they are. I don't know how true they are, y'all, as far as maybe trade Micah Parsons and maybe try to build a team up through the draft. My thing is, y'all, some of the hardest positions to find on your team, as y'all know, quarterback, left tackle, edge rushers. Those are three of the hardest positions to find, you know, on your team. And I feel like if you got somebody that's at the top of that position, a threat, an X factor on your offense or defense at that position, I feel like that person, you cannot let him walk away. I feel like if the Cowboys trade Micah Parsons or they don't sign him, I think that'll be one of the biggest mistakes that they'll be done made in probably in the history of their franchise, man. Because when you got somebody that affects the game on the defensive side like that, and y'all know, like I know, if anybody in here that's Cowboys fans or you don't see Cowboy game, Micah Parsons lines up all over the defensive line. Sometimes on the left side, sometimes he's on the right, sometimes he rush up the middle. Your boy rushed the passer from all over the defensive line, man. And a lot of pass rushers can't do that. They can't move around like how he do. And you can't do all the stuff with him like that other teams, you know, they can't do with their edge rushers. He can do a lot of things, man. He can also play off ball. He can drop into coverage. So that's why I say Abdul Carter is very similar to Micah Parsons. Because Abdul Carter for Penn State, he does a lot of the same thing. He can rush the passer from all over the field. He can play off-ball linebacker. He can drop into coverage. So I feel like when you get linebackers like that, X factors, edge rushers, hey, whatever you got to pay them, you pay them because they are one of a kind. So my opinion, hey, ain't no way in the hell I'm trading Micah Parsons. Whatever the market is for him, that's what we paying. And right now, y'all know all these boys getting paid. Y'all see what Myles Garrett just got. So I look for, when the Cowboys pay him, I look for Micah Parsons to either get what Myles Garrett got or he'll probably get a little bit more. But he most definitely deserves every dollar, every penny, every quarter, every nickel, every dime that they give to him, man, because he most definitely do a lot for that defense, man. Y'all see the couple of games last year that he was out, that defense looked totally different without him in the game, man. Totally different. Let me see what you say, John. You said the Giants got a lot to do to become a competitor. Yeah. Like I say, I just read y'all off. They most definitely got to fix they got to fix the run game, man. They can't stop the run. Also, the offensive line ain't all of that. So that's why I say the situation with Aaron Rodgers going to the Giants, man. If I was Aaron Rodgers, I'd be trying to go to Minnesota. That's just my opinion, man. If I was Aaron Rodgers, I ain't stunned about going to no Giants. I ain't stunned about going to no Steelers. Even though they got DK Metcalf, the Steelers, y'all know the Steelers been having problems trying to get the Steelers been having a problem with their offensive line. They've been having a problem trying to get them a consistent quarterback. And the Giants, same problem. They've been having a problem trying to get a quarterback. They've been having a problem with their offensive line. Aaron Rodgers, he later in his career, he toward the end of his career, he don't need to be scrambling around, jumping around in the pocket, trying to dodge tackles, the same thing he was doing with the Jets. So my thing is, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm a free agent. I'm not getting traded. I'm going to Minnesota. And I know, yeah, exactly, John. It sure will. It sure will. It'll make him be Brett Favre, aka little brother. Hey, what that old commercial used to say back in the day, John? My buddy, wherever I go, he goes, my buddy. Because that's exactly what Aaron Rodgers will be if he go to Minnesota. He'll be Brett Favre, little buddy. Wherever I go, get your ass in my back pocket and get on over here. Wherever I go, you go. You know how I go, John, back in the day. You in high school, you got that old school coach. You don't went in there and missed that block. You don't went in there and dropped that pass, missed that tackle, and that coach called you to the sideline and tell you, son, you stand right here beside me. I better not turn and look. Your ass better be right here by my hip pocket everywhere I go. I don't care where I go. You better be right there. Your ass gonna stand right here beside me. And next time you get in that game, you most definitely ain't gonna miss no block. You ain't gonna miss no tackle. You ain't gonna drop no pass. Because your ass gonna stand right here by me until I get ready to put you back in the game. Yes, sir. Y'all know how I go. Straight old school. You go everywhere I go. Matter of fact, hold this clipboard for me, son. Hold this clipboard. Hold this clipboard for me, son. Yeah, next time you get in the game, I guarantee you don't miss no tackle. I guarantee you don't miss no block. I guarantee that pass hit you in the hand. I guarantee you're going to catch it. Because you're going to stand right behind. You're going to stand right here beside me and hold this clipboard till I get tired. You know how they tell you, John, what they coach say? You're going to run these sprints till I get tired. And you know he ain't going to get tired because he ain't doing that but standing there blowing that whistle with that towel on his head. He got, you know, all them coaches in the summertime, they're going to have that old white towel on the top of their head to keep that sun off his head while he got us out there running full pad. About 200 degrees out there. Y'all gonna run these sprints. You know you're gonna blow that whistle. Y'all gonna run these sprints. I know I'll get off subject, y'all, but I'm gonna get back on it. I remember sometimes we used to be running sprints after practice. It be done got dark. It be done about got dark out there. All the parents out there standing. My old coach in high school, his name was Cole Lester. They be like, Cole Lester, come on now. We got we got to get these boys. They got to go home. They got to do their homework, coach. Coach say, I don't give a damn what they got to do. They gonna run these damn sprints. He'd be like, he'd blow that whistle. We'd be like, Coach, it be done got dark out there. My school I went to, we ain't have no lights on our practice field. So once it got dark, practice was over because there wasn't no lights on the field. So once it started getting dark, we'd be like, hey, Coach, hey, we can't see. He'd be like, well, son, you better act like Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer and glow your nose because you're going to run these damn sprints. Oh, man. What up with you, Keith Hammond, man? Hey, everything good in the hood, baby. Appreciate you coming through, brother. Appreciate you coming through. Yeah, man. We just talk about the NFC East free agency, man, the winners and losers. I most definitely feel like you know what? I most definitely feel like the only team in the NFC East that really ain't done that much to improve their team, y'all, is it's the Cowboys, man. The Cowboys ain't really did that much, y'all. I feel like they got to get another receiver to go with CeeDee Lamb. You can't go into the season again where CeeDee Lamb is basically what I call the one-man game. Basically the same situation what the Chargers got with Ladd McConkey. Everybody know Ladd McConkey is the person they going to in the passing game because they ain't really have nobody else. Same thing with the Cowboys. Everybody know they going to CeeDee Lamb. You know what I'm saying? So when teams double CeeDee Lamb, that takes away their passing game off the rip, man. So they both definitely need a wide receiver to go with CeeDee Lamb, man. Like I say, I think Amari Cooper wouldn't be a bad pickup because Amari Cooper, he's still solid. Even no more, which you don't need him to be. I say, bring Amari Cooper back. Stephon Diggs, I know he coming off an ACL tear, but I'm pretty sure he'll still be able to run routes and get open. We'll have to see if he still be explosive like he was, but I'm pretty sure as a number 2 receiver, Stephon Diggs, I'm pretty sure I think he'll be all right as a number 2 receiver because all the focus is going to be on CeeDee Lamb. He still got your tight end, Ferguson. Ferguson here pretty solid tight end. But they most definitely got to upgrade that wide receiver position, man. They got to. They got to upgrade the wide receiver position. And they also, like I said, they gotta tighten up their defense, man. Because like I showed you, all those teams in the NFC East, besides the Eagles, all of them are not good against the run. And you're not being first of all, you gotta win your division, y'all. And in order for you to win your division, you gotta be able to match up with your team in your division. If you're in a division like the NFC South, everybody know the NFC South, they always have big receivers. So a lot of times in the NFC South, they'll draft big cornerbacks to try to match up with the big receivers in the NFC South. Same thing with the NFC East. The team you want to beat is the Eagles. If you want to slow down the Eagles, you got to slow down that run. So one of your main focuses is you need to be able to shore up that defensive line, that front 7. Get you a strong safety, somebody you can play around the box. That run, get you some solid cornerbacks. And force Jalen Hurts to have to beat you in the passing game. But if you got some solid cornerbacks, the matchup with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, that's most definitely going to be a plus for your defense. Plus. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I say the Commanders, I think they headed in the right direction, y'all, but they got a couple of more moves that they need to make on defense to be able to take down the Eagles, man. And like I say, first of all, you got to be able to stop that run. If you ain't stopping the run, Saquon Barkley, like I say, I call him Saquon Barkley, aka the Green Goblin. Because if you don't stop him, y'all know the same thing with Green Goblin. Hey, if you don't stop the Green Goblin, he most definitely gonna mess up your day. And that's the same thing with Saquon Barkley, a.k.a. the Green Goblin. If you don't stop him, he is going to mess up your day and put up about 200 yards on your ass if you don't stop him. He most definitely going to make your day a bad one. He going to put up about 250 on you. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. He gonna be hurdling people backwards. Y'all seen when he's jumping over people backwards in the game. They most definitely had that old piss cup waiting for him right after the game. Oh yeah, come on over here and take this here drug test. You just hurdled somebody backwards, landed on your feet, and still fell forward about 4-5 yards. Oh yeah, come on over here and pee in this cup. We got to make sure you ain't juicing, boy. We got to make sure you ain't juicing. But y'all give me 1 second, man. I want to play this right here. This little video clip right here with the situation with the rumors about Micah Parsons with a trade, which I don't believe he going nowhere, man. If the Cowboys smart, they're gonna pay this man. But here we go, y'all. I want to play this for y'all. Give me 1 second. Hold on. Give me 1 second. Let me hold on. Let me share my screen right quick. Give me 1 second. Let me see what you say, Keith Hammond. You say, I'm curious to see where Cam Ward goes. Let me see what you say. Yeah, CD Lambs needs somebody. Me and my boy been talking about that all week now. Yeah, they got to get a receiver to go with him, Keith Hammond. They got to get a receiver. And you know what, Keith Hammond, you can get it if they want to. If they don't want to pay Amari Cooper, if they don't want to pay Stephon Diggs, then if they don't want to pay them, then I think you can find you a solid receiver in the draft to be a number 2 receiver. I like Jalen Rogers. I like Restrepo from Miami. I think it's some solid receivers in this draft that you can find to be a solid number 2 receiver to go with CD Lamb, man. I really do. So but as far as Cam Ward, I think Cam Ward going to the Tennessee Titans, man. That's where I think he's going, Keith. I think he's going to Tennessee Titans. And I will tell y'all this, like I told y'all this before. Let me see what you say, Keith. You say didn't know who, but he cut his pay so the Cowboys could find someone. Yeah, I did see he restructured his contract. So we'll see what they do, man. We'll see what they do. I seen that he restructured his contract. You said they need a QB. So I see you ain't too impressed with Dak Prescott either, huh? I see you ain't too impressed with him either. Matter of fact, I want to press everything. I see you ain't impressed with him at all. But y'all give me 1 second, man. I'm gonna play this little video clip for y'all right quick as far as them talking about what the Cowboys are doing. And this situation where the little rumors about Micah Parsons trade, which I think is a bunch of shit. If I was them, I ain't trading Micah Parsons for nothing. Nothing, unless you give me about 3-4 first-round picks. But here we go, y'all.
Laramie Tunsil from Houston. We talked about this earlier. The conversation here was about whether or not the Commanders have closed the gap on Philadelphia. They have certainly been very aggressive during this free agent period. The Dallas Cowboys, as usual, have not been. And so after this move, the Tunsil trade was announced, Micah Parsons, as he has a tendency to do, weighed in as only he can. He quote tweeted Adam Schefter reporting the trade with the letters WTF, which stand for why the face?
Yeah.
Or something like that. So here's what I would say. Here is my message to you, Micah. Get used to it. You can get the huge money in Dallas, but if you were sitting there saying, well, why are all these other teams signing all these other...
Hey, all right, Keith Hammond, man. Hey, I appreciate you coming through, hollering at me, man. Hey, you be safe, man. I appreciate you coming through, brother. All right, y'all, we're going to get back to
it. When we obviously need them, the answer is your team doesn't do that. That's not the way they do business in Dallas, and it has cost them, and it will continue to. So, Micah, I understand you want to be there, but I think you have to make up your own mind. Do I want to be one of the biggest stars in the NFL? Because the Cowboys will make you that. Or do I want to be on a championship team? Because right now the Cowboys feel about as far away from that as almost anyone in the entire league. Orlovsky, what did you think of what Micah Parsons tweeted yesterday?
Well, he knows he's got to go against Tunsil a bunch now. The Cowboys are in the last 3 seasons 13th in cash spending. They've gone up almost $3 billion in value. That's an owner statistic. The value of the organization continues to rise. Their willingness to spend money continues to stay kind of average or plateaued. And I think Mike is at the point of going, How come I'm in an organization that doesn't truly feel like they want to go win a championship?
What do you think?
You saying Micah should request a trade?
No, I'm not saying he should request a trade, but I think what winds up happening is he gets a monstrous contract. We talked all day yesterday about how well Myles Garrett's contract means Micah's going to get paid even more than that, and he has suggested he might take a little less money, but whatever it is, he's going to be extremely highly paid and deserves to be because he's an unbelievable player. But they have completely mismanaged their roster. They should have signed Dak way before they did. They should have signed CD way before they did. They got to take care of the Micah Parsons situation. And they are going to be so hamstrung that once again, they continue not to make any meaningful moves in free agency because that's just not what they do. And right this minute, it feels like they are a distant third in the NFC East with no hope to move up.
Hey, I just want to pause something right quick, y'all. I know y'all might not really be able to see that on the screen. But if you can, or if you can't, I want to read this to y'all. It say Dak Prescott, his salary cap hit for this season coming up, $52.9 million salary cap hit for 2025. Let me say that one more again for Dak Prescott. $52.9 million for salary cap hit for 2025. Boy, good Lord. Well, good Lord, your boy Dak Prescott is looking mighty spiffy over there. Hey, good Lord. But here we go, y'all.
Not only third, but they spent last season watching the NFC Championship game.
Correct.
With the two teams that are in front of them.
Right.
And that's the ultimate insult, basically, when you're a team in a division and the championship game of the conference are two teams from your division. It's an embarrassing thing, and that's just a reality the Cowboys are going to have to get used to.
I would just be sick to my stomach if I'm Micah. You've seen, just think about this, over the past couple of years, you've seen the Philadelphia Eagles go get Saquon Barkley. You've seen all the moves that the Philadelphia Eagles have made and ultimately led to a Super Bowl. You've seen the Washington Commanders go out there and draft Jaden Daniels to transform the whole organization. And after that season, now they're about to go ahead and start getting on a run because they figured we got to cash in on this rookie contract that is Jaden Daniels. And here it is, the Dallas Cowboys, they're just sitting back like, all is well, status quo. We're going to continue to do what we're doing. If you're Mike,
hey, but one thing I will say to kind of piggyback off what he's saying, y'all. One thing that people ain't really looking at, the Cowboys, they got a lot of money tied up right now. They got a lot of money tied up with Dak Prescott. As you see, he getting paid $52.9 million coming up this year. And I don't feel like Dak Prescott is one of the top quarterbacks in the league. And he getting paid top quarterback pay. $52.9 million, that's a lot of damn money for somebody that ain't one of the top quarterbacks in the league. You know, top quarterbacks in the league right now, Josh Allen, Pat Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Jaden Daniels. He just a rookie, but Jaden Daniels, CJ Stroud, you know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like Dak Prescott better than none of them guys. Jaden Daniels just came to the league last year. I don't think Dak Prescott better than Jaden Daniels. That's just my opinion, y'all. But I most definitely feel like, and that's to say, you know what, y'all? They kind of talk about it a little bit more. I think the same situation the Cowboys was in with Dak Prescott is the same situation the 49ers are in with Brock Purdy, man. I think Brock Purdy, Dak Prescott, I think they very similar in their quarterback play. Because at the time, Dak Prescott, they had talent on the team on offense. With the running back they had and CeeDee Lamb and Mari Cooper and all the people they had and Dalton Schultz, they had all that team, they had all that talent on the team, man. And I think that's the same situation with the 49ers in right now with Brock Purdy. They had all that talent on the team. So now they're in the situation where they got to pay Brock Purdy. I mean, I don't feel like Brock Purdy worth 50-something billion, but they got to pay him. So I think the 49ers are going to be in the same situation like with Dak Prescott. I don't feel like Brock Purdy is one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. I think he's solid, but I don't feel like he one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL. I don't feel like he's better than none of the quarterbacks I just named out. So and he most definitely going to be getting paid more than them with that new contract. But yeah, man, I just wanted to throw that out there at y'all. But here we go.
Michael, do you really want to be part of that? I know money, hey, throwing the bag at someone is great, but at the end of the day, we all want to win. We all want to feel like we got a chance to win a championship. I just wonder what Micah is thinking right now.
Cross.
I mean, it's Tuesday morning. Like, there are still players. Like, I think the Cowboys will acquire some players. I don't think they're going to go out
like
there.
Like Javonte Williams?
The $3 million running back is like a sure thing for the Javonte Williams, 24 years old.
Yeah, he's a
right?
good player.
I mean, like that's a worthwhile shot to take on a free agent running back. So we'll see. They need a corner. They need a linebacker. I think they're out there beating the bushes for it, but that doesn't. The reason the Cowboys don't sign big free agents is not because they can't. It's not because the salary cap situation prevents it. It's because they don't believe that is the way to build a roster. And frankly,
And one more quick thing I want to read out to y'all what they got on the screen, what I was telling y'all earlier, as far as their defense and the rushing touchdowns. Now y'all look at this. They say the Cowboys defense, they allowed the most rushing touchdowns last year with 25 touchdowns. They also allowed the third most yards per rush with 4.8 yards. Also, they allowed the fourth most rushing yards per game with 137.1. So that's why I say in that division, once again, these teams in that division, they are not good at stopping the run. Ain't none of these teams finna beat the Eagles until you can slow down that run. Saquon Barkley ain't going nowhere. Their offensive line ain't going nowhere. So they that's another thing. The Cowboys, they got to tighten up that front seven to be able to they got to make these numbers better, or they would not be able to compete with the Eagles, because the Eagles gonna line up and Saquon Barkley gonna put up about 200-yard rushing on their ass every time they play. So I just wanted to show y'all that right there to kind of piggyback off what I was saying as far as them, the Commanders and the Giants. If they want to compete with the Eagles, first of all, they got to be able to tighten up as far as stopping that run for the Eagles, y'all. But here we go. Give me 1 second.
they have one down year, but they won 12 games 3 years in a row.
Someone should just show them.
Spillane is gone. Greenlaw's gone to the Denver Broncos.
Linebacker's going to be tough.
Yeah.
Someone needs to show them C36, because the top free agent spending team in the NFL has improved its win total in 9 straight off seasons, all by at least 3 wins. Last year, the Philadelphia Eagles were that team, and they, of course, wound up winning the Super Bowl. So the reality is it works. Spending money in free agency in the right circumstances works.
But wait, again, not like devil's advocate, right? Like if you win, they won 12 3 years in a row. You're not going to improve that by 3. Right. Those teams had not gone 12-5. Right. So now the Cowboys come off a down year. They have holes to fill. They have trade inquiries out. I mean, there are things that they can do. I just think it's too soon to judge.
I hope they do. Yeah.
The 12 win seasons from the Cowboys seem like eons ago. Like
but they're not.
The way their roster looks right now compared to those years, it seemed like a lifetime ago.
Okay, I got to leave it there.
All right, y'all. I just wanted to play that for y'all right quick. Let me get that off my screen. Yeah, I just wanted to play that for y'all right quick as far as what's going on with the Cowboys. And like I said, I wanted to point that out to y'all again as far as with their run stop defense, man. They most definitely got to shore that up. Like I say, they got to get a wide receiver to go with CeeDee Lamb, man. Matter of fact, I think they need 2 wide receivers, if you ask me. You got CeeDee Lamb, because CeeDee Lamb, I don't know if y'all really peep game. With CeeDee Lamb, he mostly playing the slot, y'all. He's more playing the slot. The tight end, he's solid. As far as at the running back position, I mean, I know they got Miles Sanders and they got Devontae Williams from the Broncos, which I think both of them okay. Miles Sanders, I'm a Panthers fan. He just came from the Panthers. He a little suspect to me. I think he thrived behind that Eagles offensive line when he was with the Eagles. But we'll see what he do with the Cowboys. If it was me, man, I feel like with the Cowboys, I still wouldn't be sold on Miles Sanders and Javonte Williams. I most definitely probably would get me one of these running backs in the draft also. But most definitely feel like the Eagles, they need to get 2 receivers. I was thinking about 1, but I was like, shit, CeeDee Lamb playing the slot, really. I mean, he moved on the outside sometime, but 70-80% of the time, CeeDee Lamb lined up in the slot, man. So really, they need 2 outside receivers, to be honest with you. So we'll see what they do in the draft. We'll see how long it takes Jerry Jones to sign Micah Parsons. You know when it came down to CeeDee Lamb, it came down to Dak Prescott. He waited all the way to the last minute before he signed him. You know, when football camp start, when training camp start, he gonna be all in front of the camera. Yeah, it's just we signed Dak, and we got we love CeeDee Lamb. We signed him, and we're gonna sign Micah. You know, he'll call him Micah Parsons. We're gonna sign Micah Parsons. We're going to get a deal done. We're close. We love Micah Parsons. We're going to keep him here. We're going to make sure he stays a Cowboy. Yes, we're going to sign him. Yes, we are. We're going to sign him. We love Micah Parsons. I love what he does in the game. Yes, we are going to sign him. Well, when you going to sign him? When you going to sign him, Jerry? Oh, we're working on it right now. I got my agent right there out there on the field with him, talking to him right now. Matter of fact, we got our management out there with him on the field, lined up in the tackling drills. He's out there in the tackling drills, talking to him right now, negotiating the contract right now with Micah. What'd you say his name was, Jerry? Micaiah? No, Jerry, it's Micaiah. Oh, yeah, Micah Parsons. Yeah, we love him over here. We're going to sign him. Yes, we are, and we're going to the. And you can't forget to say the Cowboys are going to the Super Bowl, and we're going to go to the Super Bowl. We're getting Dak back this year. We feel good about the Cowboys. We feel good about that star in the middle of the field. We feel good about that star. I was in my truck the other day. I was in my Dodge pickup truck the other day. I was out there riding around in my oil fields out there in Dallas, Texas, out there in Texas in my oil fields, and I was riding in my pickup truck, and I reached around in my back pocket, grabbed me a little bit of that snuff, and dipped me a little bit and put in my jawline. And I was thinking, I said, we got to get Micah Parsons paid. We got to get a little more talent on the team. Well, Jerry, is you gonna take a step back and get you a general manager? Well, you just hold on a damn minute. I run things around here. I'm the head man in charge. As long as my mind is able and body, I run this here team. Don't you ever in your life, don't you ever, and I mean ever say anything like that in your life about anybody coming in here running this team besides me. I run this around here. I'm the head man in charge. I pay for this. I'll pay for this around here. Yes, sir. But yeah, man, that's old Jerry Jones be signing when he be doing the press conference. Hey, like I said before, they be done went out there, Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, they be done went out there and played 3 overtime games. Hey, Dak Prescott coming back. Dak Prescott sitting in the locker room with ice wrapped around his shoulder. CeeDee Lamb got a heating bag, a heating pack on his back, laying on the floor with a heat pack on his back. Everybody else got ice packs on their head. Half of them got a concussion. The first person come out the first person they put the camera in the face is Jerry Jones. They talk to Dak. They talked to nobody. The first person they talked to is Jerry Jones. Well, Jerry Jones, what you think about that game? Well, first of all, we didn't play good ball. We didn't play Cowboys ball out there today. We didn't have that star on the helmet means something, and we didn't represent that today. Just like when Terrell Owens went out there and stood on that star. I wanted to go out there and put hands on him, but I wasn't able to get up that day. My knees was hurting me. I couldn't get out there to 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 give him a piece of my mind. when he stood on that star that day. And that's how I felt today when we lost that game today, y'all. Jerry Jones, what is you talking about? Well, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what you talking about. Yes, sir. But all jokes aside, y'all, for real though, the Cowboys, like I say, they got, I mean, I ain't gonna say it ain't no hope. I ain't gonna say it ain't no hope, y'all. But they most definitely gotta try to hit in the draft, man. They gotta try to hit in the draft. What up with your adopted son? You say Jerry Impression. Hey, sound just like him, don't it? Yeah, you know, Dak, man. You know, I was sitting out on my front porch the other day. I was sitting out there cooling my heels, and I had my old jelly jar. I had my jelly jar, and I had a little gin in my jelly jar, and I was sitting on that porch, and I was thinking about my Cowboys and with the directions that we was going into. Well, Jerry, you gonna get your general manager and take a step back since you're getting older. Well, don't you sit there and say them words out of your mouth. I'm not getting older. I'm getting more younger by the day, by the day. Nobody's running this team except for me. I'll never let anybody run this team. I am the head man in charge. Matter of fact, reach over there and give me that jelly jar and pour that 211, pour a shot of that 211 in that jelly jar over there and mix it up with a little bit of that irk and jerk and give it to me right there. Yeah, right there. Give it to me. Give me that irk and jerk right there. Oh, yeah, right there. Hey. Well, y'all give me 1 second, man. I'm done, y'all. I ain't doing no more Jerry Jones impressions. y'all give me 1 second. I'm gonna share my screen with y'all, man. Oh man. Yeah, man. Like I say, man, y'all like the content, y'all most definitely subscribe to the channel and double tap the screen for the Lizzites. Y'all give me 1 second, man. I'm gonna share the screen with y'all, man. I got something else I want to show y'all. Give me 1 second. Hold on, let me see. Okay, here we go. I'm gonna play this right here for y'all. Give me 1 second. This right here is a little update as far as what the Eagles doing, man. As y'all know, Brandon Graham, he retired. So I'm gonna play a little bit of this, man. And they're gonna talk about like I said, they're gonna play Brandon Graham with his retirement, and also they're gonna talk about some of the acquisitions that the Eagles has made as far as adds to the team and players that they lost, y'all. So y'all give me 1 second. I'm gonna play this for y'all.
In Philadelphia, Adam, what more can you tell us?
Laura, the longest tenured Eagle in franchise history, Brandon Graham, who played 15 years for the Philadelphia Eagles, announced his retirement from the NFL today. His final NFL game will have been the Eagles' Super Bowl victory over the Kansas City Chiefs, in which he came back from his torn triceps injury to play 15 quality years in Philadelphia, somebody immensely popular in and out of the locker room. Azeez Ojulari, the former Giants pass rusher, followed the same free agent path that Saquon Barkley did, from New Jersey to Philadelphia, to go from the Giants to the Eagles, landing a 1-year, $4 million deal. The Eagles bring an added pass rush, and they're hoping they get the same kind of production that they did from another Giants free agent last year. And the Eagles also extended their all-pro right tackle Lane Johnson by 1 year through the 2020 season, guaranteed him more money, but tie him down long-term, just as they did with Saquon Barkley, giving him more money and brought back Zach Bond. And so while the Eagles have made a number of moves like Azeez Ojulari, they've also invested in their own, making sure that their most productive, important players are taken care of now and for the long-term future.
Howie Roseman's so good at that. And we heard, Adam, you reporting on Brandon Graham's retirement. The two-time Super Bowl champ spoke to the media this afternoon. Listen to this.
First, I just want to say 15 years ago.
Hey, what up with your Nick Tri-State, man? Appreciate you coming through, brother. I'm going to put the link in the chat in a little bit, man. If anybody want to come up here and holler at me, man. If you want to come up, holler at me, Nick. We just talking about the NFC East, man, as far as what they done did in free agency. Have anybody made themselves better to try to take down the Eagles, which I feel like they haven't, because all of them are still bad against the run, and you ain't beating the Eagles if you ain't stopping that damn run, man. But here we go. I'm gonna finish playing this, y'all. Give me 1 second. But yeah, what up with your Nick Tri-State?
I walked into this city as a young man with dreams, big dreams, a little bit of nervousness, and a whole lot of fire in my heart. I had no idea back then what this journey would bring. I didn't know how many times I would be tested. I didn't know how much I would grow. And I surely didn't know how deeply I would fall in love with these fans and the team in this city.
Ooh, you see how much it means to him, how much he means to Philadelphia fans as well. The Eagles have lost a few key pieces from their Super Bowl winning defense this offseason. Milton Williams, Josh Sweat, Isaiah Rodgers all signed deals with new teams. Plus, they traded safety C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the Texans in exchange for guard Kenyon Green and a fifth-round pick. Philly's been relatively quiet so far, but they did sign former Giants pass rusher Azeez Ojulari, as you just heard from Adam, and cornerback Adoree Jackson. Mel, none of this is a big surprise, but where do you have them looking in the first round?
They always preferred the trenches. Now, last year they went to the cornerback spot with Quinion Mitchell, then Cooper DeJean, which was a great second-round pick for them, and were key elements in their run to the Super Bowl and their win there. But Milton Williams lost. I thought about Walter Nolan from Ole Miss. That's who I gave them in the mock 3 points.
One quick thing, y'all. I want to go back to this right
cornerback
quick.
Adoree Jackson. Plus, they traded safety C.
This is what I wanted y'all to see right here. I know they kind of flashed it up on the screen right quick, but I wanted y'all to see this right quick as far as who they lost and who they acquired. And if y'all look at the subtractions and the additions ain't adding up for the subtractions. These people over here who they added ain't good as the people who they lost. Josh Sweat, they picked up the edge rusher, what's his name? Azeez Ojulari. He is not as good as Josh Sweat. I think that's a step back. Adoree Jackson. I think he a good what you want to call that? Just a good additional piece. I don't feel like he is that good as for a starter, a rotational piece maybe. But C.J. Gardner, that's a big loss. Milton Williams, as y'all seen in the Super Bowl, Milton Williams and Josh Sweat was the main two people in that backfield. Isaiah Rodgers, Kenny Pickett, we ain't worried about Kenny Pickett. But these three guys right here, Josh Sweat, Milton Williams, C.J. Gardner, those are big losses. Also, another person who they don't have up here is Micah Becton. Micah Becton also was a big loss. Kenyon Green, he okay, but he most definitely is a step back because he most definitely not going to give you the same production as Micah Becton did. He do play guard, so they can hide him a little bit. It's easier to help out the guard than it is to help out the tackle, y'all. But I just wanted to show y'all that right quick as far as some of the guys they lost, who they brought to the team. I will say this. Next year, they got a lot of comp picks. I think they got like 6 comp picks that they get, which they're going to show that on here too. That's the reason why I wanted to play this video for y'all. I want y'all to see this and all the comp picks that they're going to have for the 2026 season for the different trades and stuff that they done made. They're going to have like six extra picks next year. But here we go, y'all. 1 second.
C.J. Gardner-Johnson to the Texans in exchange for guard Kenyon Green and a 5th-round pick. Philly's been relatively quiet so far, but they did sign former Giants pass rusher Azeez Ojulari, as you just heard from Adam, and cornerback Adoree Jackson. Mel, none of this is a big surprise, but where do you have them looking in the first round?
They always preferred the trenches. Now, last year they went to the cornerback spot with Quinion Mitchell, then Cooper DeJean, which was a great second-round pick for them, and were key elements in their run to the Super Bowl and their win there. But Milton Williams lost. I thought about Walter Nolan from Ole Miss. That's what I gave them in the mock 3.0. Walter Nolan, Ole Miss, formerly of Texas A&M, one of the top players coming out of high school. You think about Milton Williams, how critical he was to that defense because he was disruptive. And Walter Nolan is quick, explosive, athletic, and very disruptive, and you can move him around. So I thought with Milton Williams moving on in free agency, Walter Nolan had picked 32 field out of Ole Miss. They love those Georgia players. Go to Ole Miss in the SEC and get a Walter Nolan at the end of the first round.
Yeah, Ojulari, by the way, a Georgia alum himself. One thing about Philadelphia that we know, Laura, at Males, they are never going to be caught flat-footed. That's kind of the brilliance of this roster construction, is that they kind of forecast the players that are going to depart before they have actually departed. So you think back to last year's draft. They used a third-round pick on Jalix Hunt, this small school product who began his college career as a safety at Cornell. He ends up being drafted in the third round and has a sack in the Super Bowl on Patrick Mahomes. The Eagles have always found a way to bring terrific depth to the forefront when they needed it, but not necessarily in a way in which, hey, they're drafting for need every single year. So between the continued breakout and ascension of Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt, David Ajabo, and then these free agent signings they have made, who, by the way, is these Ojulari and Josh Uche for like a maximum amount of like $7 million. We'll see whether those guys work out, but there's low-risk investments by the Philadelphia Eagles front office that they have enough reward that it's worth doing. So that being said, with Philadelphia, even with that good plan in place for right now, they take another pass rusher at 32. Won't surprise me one bit because that is the Eagles' way.
Well, Phil, I think they're going to have a lot of options because we've seen them this offseason pay Saquon Barkley and Lane Johnson and Zach Bond.
And I will say this, y'all. I think if they can mess around and get Walter Nolan, I think that'll be a great pickup, a great addition to their team, man, if they was to get defensive tackle Walter Nolan. Now, I don't know. He might be still available around that time, round like the end of the first round, beginning of the second round. But, hey, that'd be an excellent pickup if they get Walter Nolan, man. But here we go. Give me 1 second.
But it's also worth pointing out that with the free agents that they lost, like Milton Williams and Josh Sweat, they are now expected to have 4 compensatory draft picks next year. And over the next 2 drafts, that will give them 20 draft picks, 20 in the next 2 drafts. And they are armed to reload with some good talent. And if you take a look at this team's drafting record in recent years, nobody's been any more successful in the first couple of rounds of the draft than the Philadelphia Eagles.
So this is what I want to tell y'all right here. For the 2026 season coming up next year, they get a third round for the Hassan Reddick trade. They got a third round for the Milton Williams. They got a comp pick for that. They got a comp pick for the Josh Sweat move. They got a 4th round pick for that. They got a 5th round pick for C.J. Gardner trade. They got another 5th round pick for the Micah Becton signing with the Chargers. And they also got a 6th round pick for Isaiah Rodgers with his signing. So that's 6 picks, 6 extra picks that they got for next year, y'all. So that's 6 picks go along with the 7 picks they already had, y'all. So they most definitely, if they do a great job of drafting, they most definitely can replace the players that they're going to lose, from this year and next year, man. So hopefully, if they do another great job of drafting, they most definitely got enough picks. Hey, they most definitely got enough darts to throw at that old dartboard. Hey, if they can't get it right with all them doggone picks, then we need to sit somebody down and have a talk. Matter of fact, we need to stand them up in a line and just go right down that line and just smack everybody down that line. If you got 50, if you got 13, you got about 15 picks and you can't get none all right, yeah, somebody need a good slapping. I'm talking about a good slap. Pow! I'm talking about one of them slaps. Y'all seen that new competition they be having when them guys be slapping each other and they be knocking each other out, slapping the hell out of each other. They just got to stand there. They just got to stand there with their arms by their side and just let this man just rear back with all his might. what all this might, y'all. Just rear back with everything he got and just smack the hell out of you. And then you get knocked down, and then everybody watching to see if you can get up from that smack, which most of the time they don't get up. But when they do get up and they get a chance to slap them back, oh boy, it's a wrap. I don't know if y'all ever seen that, but if y'all ain't never seen it, y'all need to type that in on YouTube. It is, I don't know what it's called, but it's some type of new sport, man, where they be slapping the hell out of each other, man. I ain't know where the hell I could do that right there, man. You just stand right there, just let this man just smack hell out of you. You see if you can get back up from it. Oh boy. What up with your tank there, man? Appreciate you coming through, brother. What's your name? Apple Delay Fonte? I don't know if I pronounced your name right, but you say I'm a Cowboys fan. I project them to trade their number one and 2 third-round picks and move up and try to get Carter. I would not put it past them. Hey, man, I tell you this, man. I ain't never thought about that. Apple, I ain't never thought about that, but man, if they was to do that, and I don't know if this is your first time to my channel. If it is, I appreciate you coming through, brother. But I don't say it several times. I feel like Abdul Carter is the closest thing to Micah Parsons right now, y'all. He could do everything that Micah Parsons could do. Micah Parsons can rush from anywhere on the field, outside. He can rush up the interior. He can play off-ball linebacker. He could drop into coverage. Okay. But I tell you this though, man. I tell you this, man, and I tell you, and Apple, I know this is your first time to the channel, but I'm not an Eagles fan. I'm just I do the whole NFL, man. I do college football also, man. So I'm just going through East Division. Today, I'm doing the NFC East. Tomorrow, I will be doing the NFC South. Just going through East Division as far as what teams done made, as far as their free agent moves, if they done got better, to be able to win the division. So, yeah, I'm going to go through that, man. And then after that, I'm going to go through, and anybody that's listening, I'm also going to start going through, once I go through these divisions with free agency, we're going to start countdown to the draft. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from the Eagles, who won the Super Bowl, and I'm going to go all the way down. Each day I'm going to do a different team as far as what they need as far as draft needs to try to improve their team, what they have did in free agency and all that. We're gonna break down each team going into the draft till we get all the way to the number one team, which would be the Tennessee Titans. So that's something that I'm gonna do once I jump through these different divisions with the free agency, y'all. But hey, I'm gonna definitely appreciate you coming through, Apple, man. But I will tell you this though, like I was saying with Abdul Carter, man, I think he's very similar to Micah Parsons, because Abdul Carter, he do a lot of the same things. He can play off ball, he can rush outside. It don't matter which side of the field he on, he can rush up the middle, he can drop into coverage. You can do, hey, I ain't never thought about that, Apple. If they want to get Abdul Carter, boy, man, you basically got 2 Micah Parsons on the same damn team. That would be crazy. That would be crazy. But, hey, I wouldn't put it past him, not with old Jerry Jones. What up with you, Aries? Appreciate you coming through. I see you found me over here, Aries Claire. I see you found me over here. I appreciate you coming through this morning. But, yeah, hey, Apple, if they want to do that, man, that would be wow. You basically have 2 of the same players on 2 similar players on the same team, because I most definitely feel like Abdul Carter is he's very similar to what they do with Micah Parsons, man. Very similar. So, hey, I wouldn't put it past the Cowboys, but I will tell you this, Apple. It sounds good, but they most definitely need another wide receiver to go with CeeDee Lamb, man. They got to get somebody else in the passing game to go with CeeDee Lamb, man. You can't go another season with all you got is CeeDee Lamb and Ferguson, man. Because once you go against the good teams, all they're gonna do is double up CeeDee Lamb, and then the Cowboys ain't got no answer in the passing game. So they most definitely got to fix that problem, man. They got to, especially if they're trying to compete against the damn Eagles, man. And like I said, they got to be able to stop the run. The Eagles, they run game too good, man. And the Cowboys, the Commanders, and the Giants, all of them at the bottom of the league as far as stopping the run. You ain't beating the Eagles if you can't stop the run. So that's what I'm working on first. Got to be able to stop the run. You got to win your division first. Before you can do anything else, you got to try to win your division. But here we go, y'all. Like I say, hey, appreciate y'all coming through, kicking it with me. I'm going to finish playing this about what's going on with the Eagles, man. Give me 1 second.
There are additional picks in the 2026 draft. They're armed to bear in this upcoming draft, and they do have some needs and some holes that they'd like to plug. But they're going to have ample opportunity to do this with all this added draft capital, which also probably will give them added flexibility if they want to come up in the draft, that they really like a player and they want to go get him, or go back in the draft as well.
Yeah, it's fascinating, too. I mean, those players that they could get with the picks they've got in the early rounds, too, those are consequential rounds where you're really going to make your team or break your team. Wideouts Jamar Chase and T. Higgins have touched down in Cincinnati, where they spend their time in the season. They're ready to put ink to paper for their new deals. Chase is now.
All right, y'all. Y'all give me 1 second. That went a little farther than. Oh, you know what? I can. You know what? I might. Nah. You know what? I'm gonna play that because they talking about they just made that signing with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins, which I told y'all before, man. With Jamar Chase, matter of fact, I ain't playing that shit. The situation with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Let me see what you say, Aries. You say if Tech gets drafted high, the Cowboys could be looking at Matthew Golden to pair with CeeDee Lamb. That would be nice too, Aries. That would be nice, Matthew Golden. That most definitely give them a speed guy. I like Matthew Golden, man. He's a solid receiver. And you know what? That was a surprise to me, Aries. When he ran a damn 4.2 at the combine, I said, what the? But you know what, Aries? I will say this. Even though he ran a 4.2 in the combine, when he play on the field, he most definitely – he don't look like he run a damn 4.2 because, you know, guys that run a 4.2 like Tyreek Hill, you know, people like him, you could tell the difference in their speed compared to everybody else. It's like when they running, it's like they make the guys who fast, they make them look slow. And when he out there playing, he most definitely don't look like, you know, when he playing on the field, Aries, he don't look like he run a damn 4.2. You know what I'm saying? But I most definitely feel like he would be a great addition to the Cowboys. Most definitely. I like that. I like that pick, Matthew Golden. I also like I'm gonna tell you who else I like. I like Restrepo from Miami. I like him too, man. But Restrepo, I don't think he would be a good fit with the Cowboys because CeeDee Lamb mainly playing the slot. Restrepo, I think he more fitted as a slot receiver. I like Jalen Royals also, y'all. I think Jalen Royals is gonna be a good pickup for somebody. Most definitely. Let me see if you say Apple. You say Aries. I feel my Cowboys will be taking Tech. Tech wouldn't be a bad move for him neither, Apple. He would not be a bad move for him, most definitely. Most definitely. He would not be a bad move. I will tell y'all this, though, man. I will tell y'all this. I like what the Commanders done did so far in free agency. Also with them adding Larry Tunsil and them adding Javon Kinlaw. I think those were three big moves to help them with their team, man. But like I told you before, I really do feel like the Commanders need to get a running back. You can't have another season with Jaden Daniels leading your team in rushing. Let me see you say Aries. You said Cowboys could have to jump up most likely to draft him. Yeah, if they get Tech, they most definitely gonna have to jump up to get him, man, because I don't see Tech McMillan getting past the top 10, y'all. I don't see Tech McMillan falling out of the top 10. He most definitely gonna be the first receiver taken. I don't see him falling out of the top 10, y'all. I really don't. I really don't see him falling out of the top 10. If he falls out of the top 10, I'll be very surprised. and I mean very, very surprised if he fall out of the top 10. So you most definitely right, Aries. They'll have to trade up. They got to trade up to get him. Got to. Let me see. You say, John. You say I see him going around 7 or 8. Yeah, he could possibly go to the Raiders. The Raiders, they need another receiver. I could see the Raiders team him up with Brock Bowers and Jacoby Myers out there. What up with you, Break Forever, man? Appreciate you coming through, brother. You say Cowboys need more than you said an EB. Is you talking about you say EB. Is you talking about a cornerback, Break Forever? Because you put EB. You talking about a cornerback or a quarterback or wide receiver? Okay, got you. Okay, wide receiver. Like I told you, man, they got to fix their front seven, man, because they horrible against the run. The Cowboys, the Giants, the Commanders, all of them are horrible against the run, man. Horrible against the run. They got to fix that run. If they're gonna compete with the Eagles, first of all, you got to be able to stop the run. If you can't stop the run, you're not gonna beat the Eagles, period, man. Because Eagles are old school football. They're going to dominate the line of scrimmage. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play great defense. They put their quarterback in a situation where he don't have to make a lot of plays. He don't have a lot of situations where the game is on his back. He got to win the game because they got a great offensive line, man. So, like I told y'all, I would not doubt it if Saquon Barkley rushed for another 2,000 yards this year because of how dominant that offensive line is. And like I showed y'all before when I broke down the film, Saquon Barkley gets through the line of scrimmage without getting touched. This man gets 20 yards down the field before anybody touch him. It's several times. This man get through the line of scrimmage. Nobody touches him. Nobody. So as long as they got that offensive line intact like that, hey, the Eagles gonna continue to win games until that division they start stacking up their front seven to be able to slow down that run. I don't see neither one of them. Even though it looked good what the Commanders doing, it looked good. We're getting Debo. It looked good. We're getting Larry Tunsil. That looked good. But until you can shore up that run stop defense, you are not beating the Eagles. You're not beating them. Let me see if you say Break Forever. You say with the talent in the NFC, Cowboys might win 5 games. Hey, they better do some. They better make some good picks in the draft, man. I'm telling you, man. Like I told you, I don't think it's a bad decision maybe for them to try to get Amari Cooper. I think Amari Cooper. I think he could be a good solid number 2 wide receiver. Compliment CeeDee Lamb. I don't think that would be a bad move, y'all. I know Brandon Cooks last year, he was supposed to be that, but he dealt with injuries, and it seemed like when he came back, he wasn't never the same. But Amari Cooper, he not the receiver that he used to be, but I still feel like he could be a solid number 2. Go back to the Cowboys, team him up with CeeDee Lamb. So hold on, y'all. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. I want to give y'all a little update of what's going on with the Giants. Because as of right now, y'all know it's still rumors about the Giants trying to get Aaron Rodgers. And like I said before, my opinion, y'all, as far as with Aaron Rodgers going to the Giants, him being a free agent, if I'm a free agent quarterback, I'm later in my career, I'm not going to the Giants. I'm not going to the Steelers. I'm trying to go to Minnesota, y'all. If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I feel like his best bet is to go to Minnesota and go play with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, TJ Hawkinson, Aaron Jones. They got a better offensive line. If he go to the Giants, he go to Pittsburgh, he'll be in the same situation. Dealing with that offensive line like how he did with the Jets. The Jets, as y'all see, the Jets had talent everywhere. But their offensive line was trash, man. It's going to be the same situation if you go to Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh, their situation been a couple of years. They've been trying to get their offensive line together. Let me see you say Aries. You say, I'm surprised the Cowboys haven't grabbed Stephon Diggs. Yeah, I think Stephon Diggs would be a good addition. Even though he coming off of that knee injury, Aries, I still feel like when he come back, he still could be a great number 2 receiver, compliment CeeDee Lamb. You say laugh a lot. Minnesota announced earlier they aren't pursuing Aaron Rodgers. I seen that, Aries. I seen that. So that lets you know Minnesota, they're probably going forward with JJ McCarthy, y'all. So we'll see how that go. But like I said, if I was Aaron Rodgers, that's where I would be trying to go, Aries. But like you say, Minnesota did say they're not going out to Aaron Rodgers. So if you ask me, man, if you got to choose between Pittsburgh and the Giants, y'all, I probably would say Pittsburgh. Even though Pittsburgh, they got some struggles on offense, but at least he got DK Metcalf, you got George Pickens. Pittsburgh got a great defense. That offensive line, you can fix it. If you could draft maybe 2 good offensive linemen, that most definitely would help that offensive line. This is a deep running back draft. They can get somebody to replace Najee Harris in the draft. So my opinion, y'all, if he had to choose between the Giants and the Steelers, I say go to the Steelers. Even though I like what the Giants did with getting Paulson, Adebo, and Javon Holland. I like what they did, with getting them, putting them in the secondary, the team up with that defensive line. They got a pretty good defensive line. I know at one time last year, their defensive line was leading the NFL as far as total sacks with the defensive line. So, just my opinion. Y'all might agree, y'all might disagree, but y'all know how it go. Let me see if you say break forever. You say it was announced this morning, Minnesota not interested in Rodgers. Yeah, that's what Aries was just saying. Yep, Aries, she just said the same thing. Yep. Matter of fact, I got that clip for y'all. Give me 1 second. I got that clip for y'all with the updated situation going on with Aaron Rodgers. Give me 1 second. Here we go right here with the update going on with Aaron Rodgers. I'll tell y'all one thing, man. This stuff with Aaron Rodgers, boy. I'm telling y'all, man, he gonna have the Giants and the Steelers. He gonna have them waiting forever. And then y'all know what he gonna do. He probably gonna go on Pat McAfee's show, and then he gonna say what team he going to, y'all. He gonna have them team waiting forever. If I were them, man, I wouldn't put all my eggs in the basket and wait on what Aaron Rodgers gonna do. I wouldn't do that. You say, Aries, you say Pittsburgh should make a move for Jackson Dart. You say Giants should get Sanders. I think so too, man. I think they should go young and get Sanders too, break forever. And that wouldn't be a bad move, Aries, if they was to get Jackson Dart. That wouldn't be a bad move. I like Jackson Dart. Hey, y'all, I'm gonna tell you something, Aries. I actually like Jackson Dart better than Shedeur Sanders. Now, don't tell nobody I told you that. But I actually like Jackson Dart better than Shedeur Sanders. Y'all might disagree, but I'm just throwing. Y'all know how I do. I'm throwing it out there now. I'm throwing it out there. But y'all give me 1 second, man. A little update. I'm gonna play this little video clip for y'all right quick. Give me 1 second.
But now we get to Aaron Rodgers. We waited a little while to get to this, but not nearly as long as everyone is waiting on a decision from him. He's a free agent. We know about the Vikings, the Giants, and the Steelers. You need to hear this on his podcast. Longtime Steelers defensive captain Cameron Hayward saying he's not going to any lengths to recruit Aaron Rodgers.
I ain't doing that darkness retreat. I don't need any of that crap. Like, either you want to be a Pittsburgh Steeler or you don't. That's simple. That's the pitch. Like, if you want me to recruit, that's the recruiting pitch. Pittsburgh Steelers, if you want to be part of it, so be it. If you don't, no skin on my back.
Okay.
Now, you know what, y'all, to pause that, I do not blame him. I do not blame them because as a team, you want to know what direction your team going in, and if Aaron Rodgers got you on hold, got your team on hold where y'all holding on trying to see what he gonna do, and he gonna end up putting them in a situation if he don't go to the Steelers, put them in a situation where they could have brought Russell Wilson back, or they could have made another move, waiting on Aaron Rodgers to see what he want to do. So I agree with Hayward. Hey, you gonna come over here and play, or you ain't gonna play. It don't take that long to make up your mind. You know what you want to do. You know who you want to play with. You know what you're trying to do the later part of your career. It don't take that damn long for you to make your mind up. Let me see, you say Aries, you say I do too, but I just get called a hater every time I say so. Hey, it's the truth though, Aries. It's the truth. It's the truth, man. It is the truth. But y'all give me 1 second, man. I'm going to finish playing this for y'all. Give me 1 second.
So he's not all that excited about the proposition. In the meantime, our Dominique Foxworth likes the idea of Rodgers playing in Minnesota and thinks the four-time MVP should go to great lengths to make that happen.
If I'm Aaron Rodgers, I would go play for the Vikings for free. I would league minimum, sign me up. The reason why I come to this opinion is, and it's easy for me to say that he don't need no more money, but I think that's what's more valuable to him right now, or what should be in my mind, is rewriting the end of his career. I think it would really benefit him to go somewhere else and kind of make over his image. It's risk there, but I think that it's the best situation to do it.
Okay, I wanted you to hear both of those before we get started, because I think they both inform the conversation we'll have here with Harry, J-Mac, and Lewis. I will start with you. So you hear Cam Hayward basically saying, if he wants to come play here, let him come play here. Yeah. I'm not bending over backwards. And you hear Dominique saying, if you're Rodgers and you're concerned about the way you are going to be remembered, I would be moving heaven and earth to get to Minnesota. What's your reaction?
Well, I think starting with Cam, look, I think with all players, and generally when you're just talking about players when they get later in their career, look, the greater your talent is, the more tolerance people have for you and what you want to do off the field. Aaron's not at that point in his career anymore. He right now is not at the height of his powers to where you go, look, I don't really care what he does off the field. I don't care how many controversial things he says. I don't care how long he makes us wait. We'll wait forever because his talent is at that level. He's not at that level anymore. He's still a good quarterback. But now the conversation has shifted. Most of the news he makes has nothing to do with how he plays anymore. And players have a hard time with that now, especially an organization and a player like Cam Hayward, who really embodies everything that the Pittsburgh Steelers are. So he's not gonna sit there and bow down to Aaron Rodgers and be like, hey, you know what? We can sit here and wait for you forever because you know what? You can take us over the top. He probably doesn't feel as though he can at this point in his career. As far as Aaron is concerned and what Foxworth said, I don't think Aaron really cares about what we feel about his legacy. I think he could give two you-know-whats about how we talk about him in terms of his career and what it will look like, or rather what people will say about him when it's all said and done. For Aaron, I think for him, he's just concerned about what's good for me. I think that's all he really cares about at this point.
You agree with that?
So, yeah, to a certain extent. I think from a prideful standpoint, though, of understanding that I went to a New York Jets organization to be the savior, and I didn't have the ability, or I fell short of saving that franchise and taking them to a place where they thought I can take them by coming there. I think from that sense of things, that's another reason why Aaron Rodgers still wants to play football, is because you want to go out on top. You want to go out with a better ending than what we've seen in the New York Jets uniform, because everything we think about Aaron Rodgers in that uniform, there's nothing positive about him when you look at the scale from top to bottom. Towards Achilles, and then, last season didn't start off great. He played better down the stretch of the season, but it wasn't great enough for them to get enough wins to make the playoffs. Now, I want to address the Cam Hayward situation, because we're talking about a 14-year veteran, a guy that's a second-generational kid. Lewis, you played with his father, a guy that brings his hard hat and his lunch pail to work every single day. He's not kissing nobody's ass to come play for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You want to be here because you want to be here. And I think the frustrating part for a guy like Cam Hayward is that Aaron Rodgers could help that football team. But he's not going to be jumping through hula hoops. And to Lewis's point, when you're not playing at an MVP level, the tolerance that people have for you has now lowered.
And I think for Cam, it goes further back than just Aaron Rodgers. You think about a few years ago, they draft Kenny Pickett, and all throughout the year and through training camp, is it going to be Mitch Trubisky? Is it going to be Kenny Pickett? As a guy on a defense, a leader on a team that is led by their defense, you get tired of hearing that question. Then last year, you bring in Justin Fields, you bring in Russell Wilson. All season long, it's about the quarterback position. Now, since the offseason has ended, it has continued to be about the quarterback position. And now the next topic at hand is Aaron Rodgers. So for Cam Hayward, you're like, we would love to have Aaron Rodgers, but at the same time, we're not going to sit around and just wait for him.
I have responses to both things that have been said here. Let's start with the football one, because I think the other one is a little more nuanced and require a little more time. Cam, I understand Cam saying, I don't want to bend over backwards. I understand you saying he's no longer an MVP. He's by far the best option they have, right? I mean, we just saw what happened to that team last year. He's by far the best option they have. And so if I'm him and I'm interested in winning, I might be a little bit willing to kiss some. I mean, I don't know. I'll kiss his hand. Maybe.
Kiss his hand.
You know what I'm saying?
And I agree with
you got. Look, Aaron, come help us. We need help so badly.
Yeah. And I've said originally. Remember, it was a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago. I said I think they need one another. Aaron needs a place like that where he can really just focus on the football. It's really not about you going in there and trying to manipulate the organization and form it in your image, because that organization is already set in terms of how they want to do business. So he needs that. They need to level up at the quarterback position.
Yeah.
He is still, you're right, he is the best option that's available, and he does give them a better chance to win. And that's what makes it frustrating, I'm sure, as Harry's talking about with Cam Hayward and as J-Mac is talking about, where they're saying, look, why are we waiting? Why don't you just want to come play for us? You know why? Because he thinks there's a better option out there.
Agreed.
That's why.
And I would argue that this is Cam's best pitch to Aaron Rodgers, where I'm not going to go roundabout and say all these things. We're about football here. Right. When you hear these words coming from me, you understand that. And that should make you want to come be a Pittsburgh Steeler even more, listening to the leader on that football team say those words about you being a part of the organization.
Okay, I'll buy that part. The other part about Rodgers not being concerned about his legacy, I think, is a bigger and
different times across 4 different SportsCenter broadcasts on 4 different days. I have written a VO about Aaron Rodgers and waiting on the future Hall of Famer to decide where he'll play next season, and about the different teams waiting for him to make that decision as well. The Steelers and Giants are waiting, with rumblings that the Vikings could also certainly be interested in the 41-year-old's services. Here, at least statistically, is what these teams are waiting for. Rodgers, hands down, one of the all-time greats, just hasn't played that way in a...
So as y'all see right here, the last 3 seasons, Aaron Rodgers is declining big time. Big time. As y'all see, his total QBR. Now, this is the past 3 seasons, y'all. He is ranked 29th at 44.7, his QBR. Ranked 29th in the NFL. His completion percentage is at 64%, which is ranked 27th in the NFL. His yards per average throw is 6.7, which is 26th. Ranked 26 in the NFL, y'all. So he most definitely is declining these past 3 years, y'all. So when you think about it, hey, I agree with Cam Hayward. Either you want to come play or you don't want to come play. I'll tell you one thing. If I'm a franchise, I'm not waiting on him, man. Hey, I like what Ari said. I like Jackson Dart. I don't think that's a bad deal to get Jackson Dart. Shit, I don't think that's a bad deal. Hey, it might not be too bad to bring Russell Wilson back for 1 more year. Bring Russell Wilson back for another year. Draft your quarterback, sit behind Russell Wilson for maybe like a year, and use Russell Wilson for your little bridge quarterback. But yeah, man, I agree with Cam Hayward. I ain't sitting around waiting on him, man. Either you coming or you ain't.
A long time. Over the last 3 seasons, ranking 29th in QBR.
What up with your top, man? Appreciate you coming through. Before I play this, you say Wilson washed. Alfred, you say if Rodgers wants to play, let's go. If he don't, if not, who cares? Yeah, I'm like that too, man. I'm like that too. But what up with your talk, man? Appreciate you coming back through, brother. Appreciate you coming through this morning, Alfred. But here we go, y'all.
27th in completion percentage. Obviously, the season-ending Achilles injury in 2023 factoring into all of this. Now, Steelers veteran Cam Hayward was asked whether he would go on a darkness retreat to try to recruit Aaron Rodgers. to recruit the GOAT to come to the Steel City. Here's what Hayward had to say.
Hold on,
Cam
I'm gonna skip that part, y'all, 'cause
and
we
it does
already heard
evoke
that.
sort of this timetable that both franchises might be on. How long is too long for the Giants and the Steelers to wait on Rodgers?
Look, Randy, I think already subjectively, it's already been too long because, look, Aaron already knows what the circumstances are. He already knows what the offers are going to be. He already knows what the situation is. He knows where he's at in his career, and he knows that these football teams need him.
Same thing I was saying, y'all. Aaron Rodgers know what he want to do. He just making everybody wait, man. Like I told you, he probably going to end up going on Pat McAfee show and tell everybody what he's going to do. In my opinion, man, I think he should retire. I think he should go and retire because, as you see, the past 3 years, he is declining big time.
Him and that they would like him to be a part of the team. So it's really pretty cut and dried that way. I think what winds up happening here, though, is like everyone knows that he's holding out for maybe the potential to, possibly join a team like the Minnesota Vikings, where he feels as though he can get with a better football team. And look, NFL teams don't take to that very well. They don't like playing second and third fiddle, especially when they consider you to be someone who is on the backside of your career, whose skills are declining, and really you don't have the cachet to act like that anymore and make them wait. Look, Cam Hayward, I promise you, he's not the only player in both of these locker rooms that has the same kind of feeling like, look, quite honestly, at this point in his career, we don't know if we want him anyway with all the other drama that comes along with him. And now he's going to hold us hostage like this. I promise you he's not the only player who feels the same way. And I know this for a fact, that there are fans in probably both of those cities who go, no, thank you. We'll move on to someone else simply because of this kind of circus that always surrounds everything that seems to be going on with Aaron at this point in his career.
Okay, so let's go from the old vet, right?
And that's facts, Rick. That's facts right there, y'all. I agree with everything he said. You already know the drama. You know he know where he want to go. I most definitely agree with Louis Reddick, man, big time. I agree with everything he said.
To the young guns looking ahead to the NFL draft, Louis, who do you believe are home run picks in the top 10?
Hey, facts, top man. They should have kept Justin Fields. That was their future quarterback right there, Justin Fields. But they dropped the ball on that one, top man. They most definitely dropped the ball on that one.
Yeah, this is a good question. And look, there's two guys for me, and I'll start with Travis Hunter, who I think is a home.
Oh, y'all give me 1 second. Let me get this off my screen. But yeah, I'm gonna definitely agree with you, top man. I feel like they should have kept Justin Fields, man. I also feel like Justin Fields, they should have never took him out the starting lineup. He had went like 4-2, I think, before Russell Wilson came back. They should have let him stay, man. Let me see what you say, Aries. You say Aaron Rodgers equals trash. I wouldn't even wait. If I'm Mike Tomlin, I'll negotiate a trade with the Patriots to go grab the young Joe Milton. Hey, that's a good idea, Aries. Hey, that's a good idea. Hey, Joe Milton, I like him, man. He's a good young prospect. That wouldn't be a bad move, Aries. I didn't even think about that. That's a good idea for real, though. That is a good idea. What up with you, Buckeye Dynasty, man? Appreciate you coming through. You said every team that had Fields invested in weapons after the fact. They did. You ain't never really seen Fields get the opportunity to have an offensive line and have some weapons, y'all. So I know with him going to the Jets, y'all, he gonna have some weapons because he got Garrett Wilson. He got two excellent young running backs. They do got to fix that offensive line, though, y'all. The Jets got to tighten up that offensive line. And I feel like if they tighten up that offensive line, and then maybe in the draft, maybe they try to get Tyler Warren or something like that, I'm gonna definitely feel like that will help them out big time. But they most definitely got to fix that offensive line. Got to. Let me see what you say, Alpha. You say the Steelers reduced to begging, forget that. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, I wouldn't even waste the time, man. Let him go on and whatever he doing over there at Cabo or whatever he doing. Let him go on and do all that. We gonna keep it moving. Like I say, Hey, bring Russell Wilson back, or like some of y'all was saying with the move with Jackson Dart. Go get Jackson Dart. Hey, I'll tell you another thing, man. I like Will Howard. I like Will Howard from Ohio State. I think he could be a solid quarterback in the NFL. Now, I'm not going to tell y'all that I feel like Will Howard, he can come in day one and start. But I feel like if Will Howard came to a situation where he maybe could sit for 1 year and then be a starter next year, I think Will Howard, I mean, he showed all last year. He showed all through the playoffs. Solid quarterback, man. Solid quarterback, make good decision, good arm. Pretty good athletic, can run, get out of the pocket. So I like Will Howard. I do. Let me see. Ardell, you say the Cowboys are a clown. You said the Cowboys have a clown GM. Yeah. Hey, Ardell, that's because the GM is your boy Jerry Jones. Jerry Jones is the GM, so that's why they ain't gonna be what they need to be until he's take a step back. Jerry Jones got to take a step back. Y'all know, we love Dak, and we wanted to sign CeeDee Lamb. We got him signed, and we're going to try to do the same thing and sign Micah Parsons. We're going to try to sign him and keep that star on the side of his head, keep him a Cowboy. We're trying to do something here. We want to go and try to make another Super Bowl run. I feel good about our new head coach, even though he didn't call no damn plays. But we feel good about him. Also, I want to let y'all know I just put a new hot dog stand in the stadium. We'll be giving out freeze cups. Be like, Jerry Jones, what the hell is you talking about? First of all, we love Dak. Like, this man is losing his damn mind. Go sit his ass down somewhere. The team ain't gonna never get right as long as old Jerry Jones calling the shots out there. Let me see what you say, Bucky. Did you say Dak is like 32? Top man, you say I feel like the best plug and play, and for the Steelers would be Dylan Gabriel, just because of the amount of live game reps he had over his career. Dylan Gabriel ain't no bad option though, man. He ain't no bad option. I know some people not high on him because he's not, that tall. But I think Dylan Gabriel is a solid quarterback, man. Dylan Gabriel, I think he's solid. I think he's a solid quarterback. Let's see you say, Alfred. You say I could throw to Pickens and Metcalf, Howard, or Riley Leonard from Notre Dame would be okay. Get Scatterboo at running back. Hey, that ain't no bad idea neither, Alfred. That's why I say I like Will Howard. Riley Leonard, he a solid quarterback. I like him too, man. Riley Leonard from Indiana, I like him too, man. I mean, I'm sorry, from Notre Dame. I'm sorry, I said for Indiana. But come to think about that, for Indiana, hey, I think the quarterback for Indiana is solid too, man. But Riley Leonard, he all right from Notre Dame. He was all right. He made some plays in the playoffs. But Scatterbo, I like Scatterbo, man. I like Scatterbo. I like the running back from North Carolina. I would definitely like the running back from Tennessee. I think he's very explosive. I also like the running back from Iowa too. I like him too. I like the running back from Iowa too. I think he is solid back also, y'all. Solid. So I'll tell y'all what, man, like I say, man, if y'all like the content, most definitely double tap that screen. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe if you like the content. Double tap the screen for the lizards. And if you don't double tap the screen, you always can shoot that ball, that 8 ball in the corner pocket at the top corner of the screen, man. Those 3 dots up there. Hit that 8 ball in that corner pocket. Hit those 3 dots up there. You also can get the thumbs up there, y'all. You know the thumbs up, like when you're doing the thumb wrestling back in the day, thumb wrestling with your buddy. Get those old thumbs up, baby. Let me see. Bucky, you say all Riley can do is run. He's very good at, but he can't throw worth of shit. You say gas, or not. He can't throw. He most definitely did a lot of damn running in the damn playoffs. I will tell you that, Bucky. He did a lot of, and I mean a whole lot of running. Hey, Bucky, he damn near was like back in the day with Nebraska when they used to run all them damn, when Nebraska used to run the option. I don't know how old y'all is, but back in the day, man, Nebraska, everybody in the state of Nebraska were running that damn triple option. Couldn't nobody stop that shit. They knew it. Hey, you knew back in the day, any quarterback that played for Nebraska, they weren't going no further than Nebraska because they weren't doing no throwing. They straight running the ball. You just like having a running back at quarterback. And your boy Riley Leonard, he would have been perfect in that old triple option offense back in the day. Hey, he would have been perfect if he would have been playing for Air Force or one of them teams that still run them type of offense. Hey, Riley Leonard would have been perfect for that. Top man, you say Quinn Ewers would be perfect if he's still available. You talk about for the Steelers, top man. Yeah, he did miss a lot of easy throws, Buckeye. He did. A lot of easy throws. Like I say, okay, got you, top man. Okay, I figured that's who you were talking about. I just wanted to make sure. I thought that's who you was talking about. Yeah. Y'all give me 1 second. Y'all give me 1 second. I want to play this for y'all right quick as far as with the Commanders. Give me 1 second. Let me share my screen with y'all. As far as what the Commanders done did in free agency. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me. Here we go. I'm play this for y'all right quick. Give me 1 second.
With yet another aggressive trade, acquiring 5-time Pro Bowl tackle Laremy Tunsil from the Houston Texans. Sources telling our Adam Schefter. Now, Washington will send 4 picks to Houston for Tunsil, 3rd and 7th rounders in 2025, 2nd and 4th in 2026. The Commanders also will receive a 4th rounder this spring from Houston. Now, the Commanders have been active, obviously, this offseason, also acquiring Deebo Samuel Sr. and the previously mentioned Tunsil to bolster their offense. They also re-signed tight end Zach Ertz, linebacker Bobby Wagner, while also adding defensive tackle Javon Kinlaw to the defense. Now, this just in, the Eagles are trading safety CJ Gardner-Johnson to the Texans for left guard Kenyon Green. So just more moves in the NFC East. Folks are not playing out there. Shannon, should Philly be worried about Washington?
Well, for me, like when we were the champion, we didn't really worry about what somebody else was doing because we know what we had and we knew.
And this is the main reason why I wanted to play this, y'all. I know we already know about Larry Tunsil going to the Commanders and everything, but this the main reason why I wanted to play this. Should the Eagles be worried about the Commanders, which I feel like the Commanders still got some things they need to do to shore up their defense. But here we go, y'all.
If we took care of what we're supposed to. I like what the Commanders are doing. You see what they're doing, Stephen A. and Canty? They're like, we got our quarterback on a rookie contract. Did you see what Josh Allen just got? Imagine what we're going to have to play in another year, 2 years. That's the number. If Dak is getting 60, by the time this contract come up, it's going to be 65, 70. Let's go ahead and put a bid in right now to try to surround him with as much talent as we possibly can and make a run for it. And I like the moves that they made. I like the re-signing of Wags. I like Ertz coming back. I like adding Deebo to the mix, another playmaker. That's a jack that you have to use in a lot of unconventional ways. You hand it to him, you toss it to him, and you run bubble screens and things of that nature because he's that dynamic with the ball in his hands. But if I'm the Eagles, I'm not worried about them, bro. My offensive line, if they get Micah Parsons comes back, that offensive line, Saquon is going to be even more motivated. Jalen Hurts, that defense. Now they've lost some guys, some depth on the defensive line. But if I'm the Eagles, I don't concern myself with other people, what they're doing. I just worry about what we're doing.
I agree with you with that somewhat because primarily your offense remains intact. Eagles' offensive line is expected to be the same. Saquon Barkley obviously isn't going anywhere. Neither is Jalen Hurts. All right, A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and we get what they bring to the table. Defensively, you could be a bit compromised. What I'm looking at, however, that doesn't negate the fact that Washington is addressing needs and moving in the forward direction. In Tunsil, in Deebo Samuel, remember, you're 22nd in pass blocking last year. You're 28th in run blocking this past season as well. So you're addressing those needs, okay? You got a guy that can catch in between the numbers in the Deebo because we know, what McLaurin could do on the outside. We know what a kind of a big-time wideout he is. So we like what we're seeing in that regard. And then Jaden Daniels, obviously, let's not forget he was sacked 47 times last year. So you got to make sure that you do something about that. You want to preserve this brother to position him to do some of the things that he can do, even though some of the sacks were not the fault of the offensive line. In the end, I like what I'm seeing Washington do. I think it's in a forward direction. They deserve credit for it. The flip side to it, though, is that the reigning defending Super Bowl champions just look far superior in the NFC Championship game. And even though some ground in a lot of people's eyes may have been made, it's only minimal in the grand scheme of things. So I agree with you, Shannon.
Well, here's the thing. There was only one team that beat the Philadelphia Eagles after their Week 5 bye, and that was the Washington Commanders. Now, folks want to go to the place, Jalen
got hurt that game.
Jalen Hurts got hurt. But somebody had to knock Jalen Hurts out the game. That was the Washington Commanders. That was their defense, right? Led by All-Pro Bobby Wagner, who just re-signed. So I like what the Washington Commanders are doing, especially on the offensive side of the ball. They needed to add that toughness to that group. Deebo Samuels fits the bill. He is a tone setter. And then, of course, upgrading the offensive line with Laramie Tunsil. You got to be able to protect your quarterback. You also need to be able to have some semblance of a run game because your quarterback can't be your leading rusher at the end of the year. So I think adding Deebo, adding Laramie Tunsil takes a lot of the load off of Jaden Daniels. And the more important thing that it does, it gives Cliff Kingsbury the opportunity to have more versatility in terms of how he calls the game, the different things that he can do. Everybody talks about the innovations that we saw with the Detroit Lions, with Ben Johnson. Well, Cliff Kingsbury has a lot of that same stuff in his bag. I just don't know that he had the players to execute it last year. So being able to add Deebo Samuel to play alongside Terry McLaurin, and then, of course, the safety blanket that is Zach Ertz, who's returning, I think that's going to be huge in terms of the Washington Commanders actually being able to challenge the Philadelphia Eagles. I would say this, over the next 5 years, if you're picking quarterbacks in the conference to buy stock in, I'd have a hard time picking anybody over the guy they got in Washington under center.
All right, we're leaving it there.
Trades for 5-time Pro Bowler Laramie Tunsil from Houston. We talked.
All right, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me get this off my screen. But yeah, I just wanted to play that right quick as far as with the Commanders. Have they did enough to dethrone the Eagles? Which I still think they got some more to do, man. Because like I say, they got to be able to stop that run. I feel like on offense, they'll be able to put up the points on offense, especially with now you got Deebo. You still got Scary Terry, McLaurin. You brought back Zach Ertz. I think those were some great moves. Deebo most definitely going to open up that offense. They give you another threat because Scary Terry, he already could take at any point in time could catch a short pass and take it to the house. Now you got two guys like that because now you got Deebo. Deebo can catch a short pass, break 1 or 2 tackles, and he gone. Like I said, Zach Ertz, I think that was a good signing him back. I mean, he not as fast as he used to be, but y'all see last year, he's still productive. He still know how to get open. He still got good hands. He still know how to run his routes, get open as a tight end, and that's all you want from a tight end. Him be able to get open and be reliable, catch that ball and move them chains on third down. So I think that was a good move by them signing back Zach Ertz. I think Javon Kinlaw was a good pickup on the D line. They kind of replaced Jonathan Allen, but like I say, they most definitely got to tighten up that front seven, man. They are one of their weaknesses last year, stopping the run. So if if they're gonna be able to compete with the Eagles, because last year when they played the Eagles, that first time they played them, Jalen Hurts got hurt early in the game, and they ended up beating them that first time. I think they went in overtime to beat them the first time. When they played them again in the playoffs, as y'all know, the Eagles beat hell out of them in the playoffs. But yeah, hey, that division, hey, y'all just know the Eagles and the Commanders, they're gonna be battling in that division for years to come, man. They're gonna be battling, but they got young quarterbacks, they got young teams. Them teams gonna be going at it. The Giants and the Cowboys, I think it's gonna be a while before they get to where they need to be at. They still got some time. I will tell y'all this though, man. That doggone NFC North division, that NFC North division gonna be hell for years to come, man. That division gonna be hell, man. Now that they got Ben Johnson in Chicago, and he already attacking that line of scrimmage on offense. He done got a Pro Bowl center, 2 Pro Bowl guards. They already got weapons. I think the only thing they're missing, they need to get another running back. But yeah, that division, that NFC North division, boy, that division gonna be tough, man. Let me see you say, Buckeye, you say receivers ain't shit gonna block for Debo. You say block for Debo. You say the Eagles are not losing any sleep over the Skins. Nah, they ain't got nothing to worry about right now, Alfred. They ain't got nothing to worry about. We'll see what the Commanders do in the draft, but what they done did right now, only thing I can say, Alfred, is the Commanders to be able to score points with them. But when they line down, they still ain't gonna be able to stop the old Green Goblin back there, aka Saquon Barkley. Y'all know the Green Goblin, like I always say. If you don't control the Green Goblin, he will mess up your day. That's why I call Saquon Barkley the Green Goblin, because if you don't control him, he will put up about 200 yards on you with the quickness. With the quickness. Let me say, Buckeye, you said I wouldn't be looking over Washington at all. No, you ain't gonna look over them. You most definitely ain't gonna look over them. But like I say, Buckeye, they got to try to attack that front 7 in the draft. Like I said, I think they did a good job of replacing Jonathan Allen with Kinlaw, but I also feel like they still need to get another edge rusher, and and shore up that front 7 so you can try to compete with the Eagles as far as stopping that. Because I feel like this, y'all. If the Commanders can shore up their front 7 where they can slow down that run with the Eagles, then they in the house. Because I ain't got no doubt on offense. They're going to put up points on offense. I ain't got no doubt. Long as Jaden Daniels is healthy, Scary Terry, Debo, Zach Ertz, I feel like they got to get them a running back in the draft. I ain't got no doubt that the Commanders can put up points. My thing with the Commanders is being able to stop that run with the Eagles. If they can make a couple of moves and maybe in the draft or whatever and try to get some guys where they can slow that run down, hey, they going to be in the house then, because I ain't got no doubt. They going to most definitely put up some points. They can score points with anybody. They showed you that last year. They showed you that in the playoffs. They can put up points. They got to stop them, though. Let me see you say, Joshua. You say Alpha. That's cap, bro. Commanders got your number, bro. You say Commanders did stop Barkley, though. Did he get some yards at times? Yeah, but then we stopped all that. Come on, man. I will say this, Joshua. That first, let me see. Which game was that? That was the first game they played. They did a good job on them the first game they played. Because when they came out, that first time they played, because they're in the same division, so they played 2 times. That first time they played, when the Commanders beat them in overtime. Now I will say this, Joshua. Saquon, he got up on them on the first half, but that second half, I will admit the Commanders did do a good job on them that second half, slowing them down. That first half, I think he had over 100 yard rushing that first half, but that second half, they did a great job on them that second half. They did. What the Commanders messed up at that doggone playoff game, man. When the Eagles came out on that first drive and they scored on that first damn touchdown, I think that pretty much set the tone when they played them in the playoffs, man. Let me see what you say, Alpha. You say Wingo, I'm a Steelers fan, but I know football, Eagles are stout. Yeah, the Eagles, and I showed y'all earlier. Next year, man, all those comp picks they got 6 comp picks from the different trades and the guys that got signed from their team. Next year, y'all, they gonna have 6 extra picks, 6 comp picks, along with the 7 picks they already got in the draft. They gonna have 6 extra picks. That's like 13 fucking picks they gonna have next year in the 2026 draft. If you got 13 picks and you can't find guys to replace the guys you lost, something ain't right. Like I said, somebody need to be lined up so we can rear all the way back and just smack hell out of somebody. Smack their whole hairline off. Yes, sir, man. But this hey, I will tell y'all this though. They will have opportunity to get another edge rusher. You know, they lost Josh Sweat. They will have an opportunity to get an edge rusher, man. This draft right here is very deep for the edge rush position, man. Let me say we couldn't set the edge. Number 1, Joshua. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all coming in here kicking it with me, man. Shoot, we done been out here. We done been in here about 2.5 hours, man. I got to get ready to. I'm gonna get ready to get up out of here. Let me see what you say, Aries. Before I get out of here, you say just saying, even a red light could stop Saquon Barkley last season. He got over 300 carries and 2,000 yards for a reason. Yes, he did. Yes, ma'am. And they had a lot to do with that doggone offensive line, Aries. The offensive line, like I told y'all, I showed y'all in the film when I broke down, Saquon Barkley gets through the line of scrimmage and do not get touched several times in the game. He does not get touched till he get in the second, third level of the defense. I mean, he 20, 30 yards downfield before anybody touch him. And that's why I said, and I'm not an Eagles fan, y'all. I'm just being honest. Don't be surprised if Saquon Barkley don't get hurt. Y'all don't be surprised if that man put up about 2,000 yards again. You say, Joshua, you say stop burning the city down, Philly. Hey, most definitely, man. I appreciate you, Joshua. I appreciate y'all coming through. Appreciate you, Joshua, Alfred, Aries. Let me see who else was in here earlier, man. I appreciate all y'all comments, man. Y'all left good comments. Buckeye Dynasty, Top Man. Who else was in here earlier? John. I know Candy Girl was in here earlier. Ardell. Let me see who else was in here. Let me see. Trucker 49. I think I said John, but if I didn't, yeah, John. Break Forever was in here earlier. Let me see. I think that's everybody. Oh, Apple Delay Fonte, something like that. Yeah, he was in here earlier leaving comments. Tank Dale, yeah, he came back through. Tank Dale, Nick Tri-State, like I said, Candy Girl. Adopted Son was in here earlier. Yeah, he was. Hey, I had him laughing when I was doing my Jerry Jones impression. Keith Hammond, he was in here earlier. So, hey, appreciate all y'all coming in here, kicking it with me, man. Everybody left comments. I appreciate all y'all. Y'all keep your notification bell on, man. I'll be back in here tomorrow. Like I said, we did the NFC East today. Tomorrow, I'm going to do the NFC South, which y'all know I'm a Panthers fan, so I'll be doing my team and NFC South tomorrow. Let me see what you say, Aries, before I get up out of here. You say at Alpha, you say Amari Hampton. If they really need a run game, Amarion Hampton. Hey, I like Amarion Hampton, Aries. I like Amarion Hampton. I like old boy from Tennessee. What's his name? Dylon. What's his name? Dylon something, but I like the running back from Tennessee. I like the running back from Iowa. And it's so many running backs in this draft area. This is a deep draft for running back. But I'm definitely, I like Amarion Hampton. He's solid running back. But yeah, like I said, man, y'all keep your notification bell on. I'll be back on here tomorrow. All my basketball fans, I'll be on tomorrow also with my basketball channel. We starting that up over there. So all my basketball fans, my channel over there is Tighten Up Sports. So if y'all type in Tighten Up Sports, y'all will see my channel. Of course, you'll see my picture with me and my little boy. And we will be jumping on that tomorrow also. Y'all know I got to talk about my good old Lakers tomorrow because they play Denver tonight. So we'll see if they can get a win against them old Denver Nuggets tonight. But all right, man, we about to get ready to get up out of here. Once again, I appreciate y'all, man. Y'all have a good day, Aries, Alfred, Joshua, John, all y'all, man. Y'all, I'ma holler at y'all, man. Y'all enjoy your day. Y'all be safe, man.
Yeah.